today, and we just saw him addressing the Kangaroo side for the first time. So without Stevens and without Carey, the job at the helm is Glenn Archer's going to be a big one this afternoon.
So we're ready to start at the MCG. The Kangaroos and the Bombers. And Corey McKernan in the ruck to start proceedings, but it was Barnes that won the first tap. And David King with the first significant possession. Already an extra man back for the Bombers. Good effort from Jacobs too. She just about could have paid the mark. Umpire didn't agree. Digby Morrell tried to come charging through. Took on Mark Johnson and got nowhere.
Just here, Hud, at the moment, we see Dustin Fletcher started in the goal square next to Matthew Lloyd, and McCartney's picking him up. There, Spider Burton having a quick spell straight off the ground here, and Brady Rawlings on for his first run here for the Kangaroos. But Fletcher starting in the forward line for the Bombers.
Interesting that, with him coming off straight away, the big man Burton, because McKernan took the initial ruck contest, so obviously they're trying to work out the matchups and maybe confuse Kevin Sheedy.
How do you do that?
Yeah, does a pretty good job of it himself, doesn't he?
Thank you.
Spider was racing off inside the first minute. So they're deep in attack. And a chance for Harvey to run onto it. He had to be really quick with a kick. Byron Pickett. And it just bounces inside the line. What an interesting matchup that will be. Mark Johnson against Byron Pickett.
Well, it'll be hammer and tongs won it. I don't know that about that. As you said, Pickett's been in great form since the move from Dennis Pagan to go in the forward line. One of the highlights about his game, he tackles, harasses and keeps the ball into that forward line for the Kangaroos.
Quick snap from Grant, and he's put it through for a goal. Great start for the Kangaroos.
Well, no doubt about that, Hud. It's a start short. I'm sure the Kangaroos and Dennis Pagan would have wanted. We see Barnes, he won the tap out, but Brant Roven here from Shannon Grant has been in terrific form, who early in the season was dropped back to the VFL, and like a great play with Shannon Grant, he's bounced back and really has been in good touch. It's a great start here for the Kangaroos.
So a blistering start for the Kangaroos, a goal inside the first 2 minutes to Shannon Grant. Can that inspire them to achieve the unthinkable today and upset the Bombers? McKernan wins a hit out, and they work it forward again through Grant with a big fist. Morrell's got a big job today. This kid is all class. Danny Jacobs clears for the Bombers inside towards attacking 50. It might sit for Mercury. It does it. Harvey, who's been the key to the last 2-week resurgence, takes it again. He's had 34 and 33 in consecutive weeks. Charges them towards half forward. Morrell, rocker at the back. A big job for the Big South today, and he's taken the mark. He's got Pickett on in the square. Decides to go the top. That was ambitious at best. It may have come off. King harassed. Surely a free kick. The umpire said play on, and the Bombers can repel through Henneman, who is one of just 6 Bombers to play every game this season. Such has been their run of injuries. Up and under kick. McKernan in the box seat takes the mark.
What a confident start by the Kangaroos.
They have started well. The forward line is going to be where they're going to really need to work overtime today without the King. Well, without one of them anyway. The other one, David's down there. Meantime, the Bombers clear only as far as Archer. Courageous sits under the fall of the football and takes a mark. Good kick to Grant, who's found space. And the Kangaroo midfielder, must be said, in the first 3 or 4 minutes has done all the running.
It's the next kick in, though, isn't it, where they need to make it count.
Blakey squares it up. Montlop bangs it inside. The target will be McCartney, but at the back was Barnes, and the Bombers are away.
And away through the middle, Solomon and Barnard, the 2 targets. Barnard comes up. Gee, it's an open forward line. Solomon can run. He's got Hurd and Lloyd ahead of him, each with 1 man on them, each with a tough job. Solomon went for Hurd, actually went for Lloyd. He went over the head of Hurd, and Lloyd ran into the space. It was an excellent kick.
It was just a terrific kick there from Dean Solomon. It all started from the big fella, Johnny Barnes. Been in great touch. Had a bit of criticism there about 3 or 4 weeks ago from certain sections of the media, but Barnes has bounced back in great style. But that kick from Solomon was absolutely spot on. The ball was put out in front of Lloyd, where you got to put it. Great kick by Solomon.
And that's just a great example of where modern tactics are successful, with all the numbers back and all of a sudden transforming the ball from defence into attack. And what an open forward line it was. And Lloyd, with those cricket pads on his thighs, doesn't stop him from sending it through for a goal.
Well, I reckon Dennis Fagan to be very disappointed, Hawk, to have had all the running and all the play for the first 3 minutes, but the flooding of Essendon, or more so the zoning than the flooding, just the numbers across defensive 50, and as we see in the replay, the chance to break and break quickly.
I think Hutto hit on the head there, down their forward line. They really need a couple of players to stand up today, particularly with Wayne Carey not down there at centre-half forward. Hutto mentioned Sav Rocker. He was pretty good last week, kicked 5 or 6 goals for them, so it is a big game.
So all square at the MCG, and a terrific start. See quite a number of the Bombers with green armbands on today, which is perhaps a little bit unusual. We might get Aussie to check that out at boundary line. Meantime, the Bombers on the break, and Ramanauskas made good position to take the mark. Goes inside 50, looks for Lloyd again. Chance for Carosella, cleverly palms it on. Well done from Watt, got the handball away. McCartney it was, Teague was in there also. Stripped of the football by Lucas. Handball out to Judd Lalich. Decides to go with the left foot, and it came off beautifully. And Carosella, who just floats down. He's so good at finding space by Carosella.
Have a shot, wouldn't you, from there?
Well, he was tempted to go over the top to Lucas, I think it was. And the Kangaroos chose not to man him up, so Blake Carosella. 92 games of AFL football for Blake, and the kick was as laconic as Blake can sometimes be, is the best way to describe it, minor score.
Just watching the centre bounces here, boys. Crew McKernan's taken the centre bounce against Johnny Barnes, but there's been a switch made. Around the ground, you'll find Lee Colbert will be that man to run with John Barnes.
Yes, McKernan playing at full forward at the moment with Lalich his opponent. Meantime, the Kangaroos working it along the boundary line. Motlop looks up and sees more Bombers than Roos. Goes for Digby Morrell, but he had 2 to beat. And Solomon, so strong and courageous in those circumstances. His kick wasn't great, to be honest, and there's a good mark. Adam Simpson back in the Kangaroos lineup today, using Harvey on his way out of defence. Good kick through the middle. And a long kick forward from Makepeace. Good confidence from Rocker so far. Sinclair roving the pack, had a man running back, Lee Colbert with the flight of the ball. It was, he dropped it, and Byron cleaned up. Well, I don't think Lee Colbert would want to have a look at the replay of that one somehow.
Well, I reckon Hutchie and Hutto, he had that spin before the ball got into his hands here. It was set up there from young Sinclair. First of all, it was Adam Simpson who's got the big job on Jason Johnson. There we are. I mean, that was unbelievable. He just turned around, looked like he was going to run in open goal on that occasion, Lee Colbert. But there it is, the man who last week kicked 6 goals, Byron Pickett. Terrific form.
So an unselfish Lee Colbert to get Pickett into the game early and gets his confidence up.
Gee whiz.
Terrific gesture from Lee. McKernan, Colbert, who's at the heart of the football now, Mercedes, ridden into the ground by Pickett. I'll tell you what, they're having a cracker with the Kangaroos. And we'll have another centre bounce.
As you said before there, Hutchie, you mentioned before the fact that Brent Harvey's been in great form. He's had 5 touches already, particularly with Anthony Stevens out of his side. He's one of the players that needs to have a really great game here today. 11
degrees in Melbourne at the moment. Should get to 12 if we're lucky. Grant goes to the goal square.
Oh, well done.
Oh, you're guilty. What a great mark. The leverage is just too much too early already for Henneman. He hasn't got the weight or the body strength for Rocker at the moment.
I just reckon, Hutch, too, at the moment, Fletcher started forward. Don't be surprised very quickly that Dustin Fletcher will go back to full-back and play on Sav Rocker. That'll be the move, I think.
So Sav Rocker, who came from Collingwood, of course, is the club champion there in '95. He's kicked 31 goals this year, which has been a fair return under the way the Kangaroos do play. 545 career goals is the overwhelming statistic that we often forget. He's a prodigious kick, and he's given the Kangaroos a flyer in the G.
Well, as we just saw then, it was just too easy for Sav Rocker. Here we are out of the centre again. McKernan getting the tap on. Shannon Grant started the game very well. He's got the important job on Smoking Joe Mercedes, but that was just too easy for Sav Rocker to push young Aaron Henneman out of the way to take that mark. But no doubt that'd be great for Sav's confidence. Great goal to Sav Rocker.
So that is an interesting matchup to watch, and exactly what happens with Dustin Fletcher. Obviously, Kevin Sheedy deciding he wants to stretch the Kangaroos in terms of height in their defence without Mickey Martin. Out of the middle of the ground, Harvey again. It's been an excellent start by the Kangaroos. They're full of confidence. Rocker kept persisting and eventually wins out. Oh, he just missed the target on the way back, looking for Harvey, and Hurd takes it, and this can really hurt. Jason Johnson, they're all manned up. Lloyd goes into the pocket, doubling back. Shannon Watt to spoil, which he does. He got to the front, and he's going to get a free kick.
Did well then. Did very well, Shannon, on that occasion. James Hurd, his first touch.
Watt's got Simpson on in quite a bit of space. Could have gone to Teague. Instead, he goes longer to Digby Morrell. It wasn't a good kick. Fletcher didn't take the mark, I don't think, unless Morrell got the fist to it. Well done, though. Well backed up by Jacobs. Not a good handball. McCartney just had to be strong, and he was. Well, Jacobs ducked into it, so that's a good call by the umpire. Lalich, it was, in fact. Johnson, some heavy shepherding going on off the ball from Jacobs, allowing Johnson to get away. And now the Bombers for Ramanauskas can go through the middle, although that's not a great kick either. McCartney will look to dish it off here by hand. Left foot kick from Sinclair.
That's
in front of
kick.
Rawlings. It was always on, wasn't it?
Yep.
As you called it, Dougie, just was out in front of him enough, and you can see the look of displeasure on the face of Damien Hardwick.
Very rarely you see young Adam Ramanauskas turn the footy over. He's got very, very good foot skills. On that occasion, missed his target. Good work here from Jason McCartney to come forward and get the handballs quickly. This is a kid I like from the Fremantle Dockers, Josh Sinclair. Uses the ball beautifully, a natural left footer, and a great pass.
Jess plays all right too, Jess Sinclair.
What did I say? Jess Sinclair. Did I say Josh, did I? Young Sinclair. Thanks, Hudson.
Here's Rawlings. A big kick doesn't look... Well, it's close. It's got there. Well done. 4 goals for the Kangaroos. Brady Rawlings kicks his first. And this is a complete reversal on what we've seen in recent matches between these two sides.
Well, there's young Rawlings who replaced Burton right at the start of this first quarter. A good set-up goal there from Jay Sinclair, who has been a very good player since crossing from the Dockers. That was a very smart kick by him, intelligent play. And I tell you what, it's a great start here for the Kangaroos.
So what a start by the Kangaroos. 17-point jump on the Bombers at the MCG. We've played just 10 minutes and they are up and running, and McKernan's killing them out of the middle. The Kangaroos are having a real crack. McKernan works it forward. Suddenly the Bombers are under siege for the first time in weeks. Here's Hurd, dances out of the pack. Handball didn't hit Carousella under the heat. It sits for him now. Over. And a chance again for the Kangas. Carousella goes again. Johnson weaves a handball out to McCurry, who pumps it inside. Beautiful kick. A cooling kick in the end.
I thought I saw Mick McGawn on the wing then.
Yeah, it looked like it, didn't it?
55 out, Heffernan loads it up. Goal square, big chance, goal! The
great
Bombers
shepherd.
answer in the best possible way.
Yeah, very strange there from Blake Carousella. Great work there from the Coleman medalist from last year, Matthew Lloyd. We just see Carousella change his mind in mid-flight not to kick the footy. Good hands there from Jason Johnson, but the kick from McCurry is absolutely spot on there to fry and Chris Heffernan. As you can see here now, after he has a shot for goal, you see the terrific body work here from Matthew Lloyd to shepherd that ball through. Great teamwork there from Matthew Lloyd.
So Kevin Sheedy on the phones. Remember, it was round 13 last year when there was such big expectations for this match. The Bombers absolutely blew them away in the opening term. And this has certainly been a different scenario. McKernan didn't really win the tap as he would have liked from the position he was in. Now Ramanauskas just put a little bit too much on the kick. Shannon Motlop was putting a fair bit of work into McCurry. The ball out of bounds.
As we forward here, Hutto and Hutch here, looks like Fletcher now has been moved back. He's picking up Corey McKernan, as I said before, takes a centre bounce. Lee Cobb will pick up Johnny Barnes. Of course, McKernan now playing at centre half forward on Fletcher.
Archer pushing forward away to the right of this boundary throw-in. Carousella and Hurd. Centering kick was an interesting one from Hurd. Tough here for Mercedes. Shannon Grant bearing down. Lalich came through. Well done, Digby Morrell. Got it off quickly. Colbert, long and strong. Henneman and Rocker again. He's far too strong.
Too strong.
He's far too strong for it.
Goal. He'll kick this. This is well within his zone, and he should kick a goal.
I just wonder, Fletcher's gone back onto McKernan. Geez, I'd like to see Fletcher pick up rock at this stage of the game.
Well, he's gone back a long way. And he can certainly kick it a long way. He's had an excellent year, really. 31 goals coming into today. He's covered the distance, and he's got the accuracy as well. So more celebrations for the Kangaroo supporters. 5 goals to 2. A terrific start, and a couple of goals for Severio Rocker.
Well, it's only early days, but very unusual to see players of the calibre of Ramanaskas, and of course the brilliant James Hird just turned the footy over. The kick from Hird was very unusual, just sort of banged the ball away, and the ball went into the centre of the ground, and the ball was turned over. This is the danger man, particularly if Wayne Carey out the side. 2 goals to Rocker, been great.
5 goals in 15 minutes to the Kangaroos. Fletcher's gone to Rocker as Doug demanded, and haven't they had some great clashes over the years? Of course, Rocker kicked 9 on him one Anzac Day in the drawn game. Ball came forward, and Teague takes the mark, showing a cool set of heels early on the youngster. Handball to Motlop, who's playing in defence. Bangs it towards half forward. McKernan, the big fly. Hird, for the football. The Kangaroos are winning all the football contests. Archer towards Watt, kick towards full forward. Sinclair's taking a courageous mark.
Free kick too as well, I think. Hutchison may have been, the mark was there, certainly. He called it right, Hutch.
He was in between two. You're right, Doug. He's called the free kick. But what courage from Sinclair to be wedged between 2 hard nuts in Moorcroft and Hardwick, and a chance here to put the Kangaroos 23 points up halfway into the first term.
Gee, they're doing it well at the moment, aren't they, the Kangaroos? As you said there, Hutchie, 5 goals straight. Courageous mark by Sinclair. We see Hardwick come over the top and just crunched him in between Moorcroft. Now the young fella's got to go back and kick this goal. Dream start for the Kangaroos.
So Sinclair's been so important early. Had 3 or 4 possessions already. And 2 of his kicks have found key forwards. This one has found its way through for a goal.
We just got to be impressed with the attack on the footy here from the Kangaroos. We see Archer there, who looked like a pair now may have started in the back line, certainly going forward. That was McKernan. Good to see Corey McKernan get some early touches in this game. Be very, very important for his confidence coming off a pretty ordinary week from last week. But there's Sinclair on the wing. That's a terrific kick from him.
Well, amazing stuff here in the opening quarter. The Kangaroos 6 goals, Essendon 2. How will they respond? Barnes won the tap. Shannon Grant's been good out of the middle. Simpson just a fumble. Grant had to go again, and Simpson had to go again. And once again, he just couldn't handle it the way he would have liked. Ramanaskas desperate. All desperate. King found a path and found McCartney. Low kick wasn't great. Really tough for Digby Morrell. He sort of got on his back there, but he might get a free kick now. Morrell slipped initially, but Jacobs was locked in there and didn't try and knock it out. Shake of the head from Jacobs. Morrell getting it in quickly, but not quickly enough, really, because... Oh, Solomon spoiled his own man. Henneman gives Rocker a chance. Sinclair did the right thing in getting the ball quickly onto the boot. Couldn't get it through to a teammate.
Great pressure.
They're just a bit scrappy at the moment, the Bombers. As you said, a lot of it to do with the pressure being applied by the Kangaroos and the toughness. Sinclair again takes the mark. He's got McKernan pushing back. Byron Pickett's down there. They're getting it in quick. McKernan camped in the middle. Heffernan stayed down and reaped the rewards. Mercedes away, and so are the Bombers as he hits Barnard.
Who takes it at half back. Big job for him today. Short pass to Lalich. Well, the Bombers haven't been this overwhelmed in a game of football this year.
Just making mistakes, aren't they, Hutch, at the moment?
They've been jumped, and they're losing all the 50-50 contests. That's the main area of concern for them at the moment. Jason Johnson front and square, read it beautifully and kicked a magnificent point.
Yeah, it was an excellent point, wasn't it?
Then he did it beautifully, Jason Johnson. Fair dinkum, did not lose stride. As we can see here, that was just brilliant roving. Centre square, as you call it, Hutch. Hit the paintwork.
In the meantime, the Kangaroos, Blake to Johnny Blakey, who turns 35 on Tuesday, playing game number 340, if you don't mind.
Well, he's got a big job too, once again today. He's got the job on Scott Lucas, and Scotty Lucas is yet to have a kick. He's only had the one handball in this game.
Dougie, they're just moving it on at all costs, the Kangaroos, aren't they?
They are. I don't know about that. They're playing on. They're taking chances.
Weaving a passage through was Solomon to Mark Johnson, who will have to be defensive all day on the Byron Pickett. Sinclair's been super impressive early, and he palms the ball magnificently. Releases McCartney, who bangs it long to the goal square to a 2-on-1. Rocker in front, couldn't take it. At the back, Harvey has kicked another one. 7 goals to the Roos.
Who said no Kerry, no Kangaroos? Fair dinkum. You mentioned him before, Hutchie, about Brent Harvey. He's playing off a half-back flank. He's picking up, I think it's Heffernan at this stage. He's coming forward from a half-back flank. That is just a sensational start. I mean, Dennis Pagan's just throwing his players all around the place at the centre at this moment, but they're winning the ball out of the guts. That's where it all counts.
Yeah, there's an amazing scoreline. Don't adjust your sets. 7 goals to 2-2. McKernan. Hurd feeding it out. Mercedes, poor kick. It's turned out. McCartney thumping it long. Rocker's got to beat 3. No problem.
Have a shot.
He's got McKernan running down. He's loose. But really, as you said, Dougie, he's within range. And the confidence that he can instill into this Kangaroos team if he goes back and drills this one will be phenomenal.
Just the confidence that Sav Rock is showing at the moment. Just the good thing about it, he's one grabbing the ball and he's attacking the footy. Terrific footy from Sav Rocker.
So Sav Rocker guides it. He's covered it beautifully. 8 goals for the Roos. This is just extraordinary stuff. 3 for Sav.
You see Steve Alessio coming for his first run. As I just touched on before, they're just making mistakes. Here we see a rush kick out of the centre where they've been getting beaten by the Kangaroos in the middle of the ground. Joe Mercedes just turned the ball over there to Jason McCartney. He's been very good in the back line, but this has been the man. With no Wayne Carey, this man's got to kick 6 or 7. He's on his way to that.
The Kangaroos playing the quarter of their lives at the moment. They've kicked 8 goals in 22 minutes. Inside 50, 13-6. Rockers kicked 3. Harvey's had 6 kicks out of the middle. Shannon Grant's had 6 possessions, and they are killing them at the moment. Alessio's been thrown in the middle, but it doesn't matter because Pickett to King, and away they go again. The Kangaroos, it sits for Rawlings, and he's held up momentarily. But they are so full of confidence at the moment. They bang it inside. Another chance. McKernan at the back. Couldn't take it. Harvey, don't tell me he's going to kick another one. They have kicked 9. This is unbelievable.
I think we're all stunned. I mean, this is just unbelievable. You know, as we, in the preview, we said that, you know, no Carey, no Stevens, no Mickey Martin, no Winston Abraham. But, gee, the key to this game is they're just winning the ball out of the centre. And as you said there, Hutch, they're just playing with a lot of confidence. Attacking the footy's been terrific. Sheeds is under the pump, isn't he, at the moment?
He is certainly under the pump, Kevin Sheedy. 9 goals to 2. He's going to earn his pay this afternoon, Sheeds.
Can't believe this.
Burton into the ruck. Was that a high tackle? It was against Shannon Grant. He's not happy about it. Jason Johnson more enamoured with the decision. Hurd sending it in long. Lucas propped. Oh, good desperation from Burton. Moorcroft. Was he dragged down without it? No, he wasn't. They're claiming holding the ball. Not this time.
Just the thing about it too, Hutto, they don't look like missing a goal, the Kangaroos, just kicking so straight. I mean, Rock, I think his 3 goals have been right on the 50-metre line and just gone post-high straight for the middle. Great confidence builder. There's the replay. Looks like Rawlings may have dragged it underneath. A bit lucky on that occasion. Still
5.5 minutes to go in the quarter, so the Kangaroos can't afford to drop off, obviously. We know how quickly Essendon can respond. And they'll be desperate. Solomon. It's just amazing, though. 24.5 minutes. They've kicked 9 goals. Solomon drives it in looking for Hurd. Again, the desperation of Blakey. And the Kangaroos winning out. Only for the short time, though. This time the mark taken comfortably by Hardwick. Fletcher back in his more customary role in defence. James Hird stopped and waited as the Bombers do so successfully, in sharp contrast to what the Kangaroos have been doing so far today. They've just been driving it in quickly. Hird sets it up. He gets a one-on-one. Was that a holding decision on Barnard? Certainly not, said the umpire. And David King streaming out of defence, tried to find the boundary line. Got a lucky bounce because it gave Makepeace a chance. That's good work, though, by Hardwick. Carousella and Fletcher sets it up to centre half. It was a low kick. No mark. Moorcroft claimed it. And the Kangaroos can run it again. David King blitzing out. He goes for the boundary line on the other side. And it wasn't a great result because it gives Solomon the chance. Rawlings was going to catch him, and well done by Dean Solomon. He can use it to his advantage. Barnard was just ahead. He went longer to a one-on-one. Lucas, and once again, it wasn't great selection on the way in. Archer trying hard. Lloyd trying to do it on his own. Couldn't. Lucas got it back. Moorcroft off the left boot. It's wobbly and it's wide. They are shell-shocked at the moment, the Bombers.
I tell you, there's Johnny Barnes having a bit of a spell here for the Bombers. Where they've been beaten, just the hardness of the footy from the Kangaroos. They've just been too hard for the Essendon side at this stage.
They're winning all the one-on-one contests, and they are causing the upset of the season at the moment. Grant, back to McCartney. We put this in perspective. The Bombers lost one game last year by 2 points, and have lost 2 games this year. And the year before, they were unlucky in the preliminary final. They are trailing the Kangaroos, who aren't even in the 8, by 39 points in the first term. And David King and company are cutting them to pieces. Here's Rocker again. McKernan it was. Couldn't take it. There's Rocker. Could this be number 4? Creative. Sam Rocker cannot do a thing wrong.
There you go. If Sav's not taken the one grabbers, there's David King. Great work from King. The good thing about David King, he will carry the ball and go long. McKernan, great to see him play in front. And there's Sav Rocker. Very intelligent play by the big fella. Didn't kick the ball hard and high in the air. He just kicked the ball nice and low with the ball bounced through. He's on fire, Sav.
Well, unbelievable. We've said that already an unbelievable number of times, but
that phone hasn't left his ear. I don't reckon. Hello, Kevin Sheedy at this stage.
10 goals straight, the Kangaroos. Phenomenal. To 2-3. Burton won it out of the middle. Sinclair. Here's Rocker again. Around centre half forward. Sav just shoveled it out. Hard work again done by Grant. Rocker off the left boot. Gets it in. Harvey's lurking. McKernan couldn't take the mark. Solomon had to clean it up. They're going for the boundary line. And they find it this time.
Well, Hutto, I'll just put this into perspective. I was out at Optus Oval yesterday, Carlton v Fremantle. Carlton had kicked the highest score for a quarter this season, 9 goals 3. If someone said to me, you're going to go to the MCD tomorrow and the Kangaroos are going to have the 10 goals straight at the 28-minute mark of the first quarter, I would have wanted to get them to go and get the straight jacket on.
Straight jacket, no doubt about that, Oz.
So the Bombers working it out of defence. Quick kick from Johnson to the wing. Hard for Mercury in there. He actually worked it pretty well. Carousella a fumble and another fumble. And then a handball. Lucas. Sinclair put him under pressure. Is all okay. Lloyd wrestling. Well done, Shannon Watt. Archer. Blakey. Didn't have much around him. Went for the boundary line and you've got me saying it now. Jess Sinclair. and what a star he's been in this quarter. 9 possessions from Jess Sinclair. And now McCartney, who's also been pretty prominent, playing on Scotty Lucas. And that man, McKernan, also putting his hand up. And he's within range. He's within range. Will he launch a taunt? The confidence is behind it. And it's a scrubber of a kick right to the square. But they've got the force with them, the momentum. And it's a free kick. It's a free kick to Byron Pickett. The force is with them.
Just their attack on the footy and their confidence, and they're unselfish to use the footy and spread the ball around. That was great work from Pickett. The tackle didn't look too bad, the tackle there from Damien Hardwick on Byron Pickett. Questions being asked.
I don't know about any questions, Dougie. I don't think he's asking too many questions there, Damien Hardwick. I think they're more statements that we're seeing.
11 goals in the first quarter. Gee whiz.
Here's Byron Pickett. Makes it number 11. And does the jig. 11 straight 66. Essendon 2-3-15. 2 goals for Byron. Remarkably, this is not the lowest first quarter for the Bombers this year. They kicked 1 goal 4 against Brisbane, but nothing like 11 goals in opposition.
It's have to be a record, I reckon, for the Kangaroos in the first quarter. Probably be fair to say, no, not in their history. No, not this stage. I'll look that up anyway, and I'll have the answer very shortly for you. But there's the forward line, all standing around together in their forward line.
As Hutto said earlier, do not adjust your TV sets. That is the score, and that is the correct quarter. The Kangas have kicked 11-2. They've been the sleepers of the competition, winning 7 of the last 9. Today, they have made an emphatic statement that they are not done yet in season 2001. Johnson's there. Now King, too much pace. He is killing them also across half-back. David King had 6 kicks, and all of them have been long, straight, and accurate, except for that one. Ball goes over the boundary line, throw in.
Just very quickly, I've looked it up there, Hutto. Their record is in 1990. The Kangaroos kicked 13 goals 3 in round 2 it was in 1990 against Richmond. 13-3 it was.
Well done, Hawk. You remember that, did you?
Top of my head, mate.
Meantime, Solomon, who's tried hard for the Bombers. Hurd and Archer, Mercury, quick hands to Hurd, who's fallen over, nothing going right. Mercury sits for him, ripped off the football. Now Barnard ripped off it.
Pressure.
The intensity has been terrific from the Kangaroos. They've still got time to get another one here. King, Pickett again, Hurd desperate, Pickett clever. Just wheeled it out there towards Rawlings, goes with the left, and Digby Morell's in the action. Everyone's dipping their bread in it at the moment. Now Sinclair, that didn't quite come out right. He's been a star this quarter. Wheels him inside out, kicked the goal on top of magnificent.
He has.
That is why he was recruited to Kangaroo Land.
This is just absolutely amazing.
This is a train and run. Hutto, Hutchie for the Kangaroos. This is unbelievable. He's had 10 touches now, Jess Sinclair on a wing, and he's kicked 2 brilliant goals. What a sidestep. Carousella, the dummy, look at that. Why wouldn't they be happy about that? Fantastic football by Sinclair.
The biggest problem for the Kangaroos is there's still 3 quarters to go.
Can they keep going?
Well, they keep going like this, they'll kick 48 goals straight.
They've all smashed the record of all time.
I don't think that's going to happen, but how the Bombers will respond will be very interesting. They're not going to have time in this quarter to kick another goal. Maybe the Kangaroos will. He'll have to launch this one and go for home. David King does. It's another behind on the side. He's ruined it. He has wanted the copy on the siren. Imagine if that had gone through.
Well, that's the most unbelievable quarter of football I've ever seen.
Ever. I've never seen 18 years of my time of playing, and now being retired 7 years. That was just sensational football. Hard out that they were, the Kangaroos.
That was flawless.
Oh.
Well, we are speechless here. And the Kangaroos know they have to try and keep the momentum going.
Jason McCartney pleading for calm there. Kevin Chetty with a rare look of concern on his face.
Well, amazing stuff. We'll try and catch our breaths and be back very shortly. 12-1 to 2-3 at quarter time. And that is an indication of their dominance. What will the second quarter hold? Certainly the Bombers, you would expect them out some kind of comeback. But just how effective can it be, and how much will that quarter time halt the momentum of the Kangaroos?
Just watching Mark Johnson's being moved over now to Brent Harvey. Johnson had the job on Byron Pickett. It appears now it's been given to Chris Heffernan, playing on a half-back flank on Pickett.
Spider Burton doing the ruck work. Early days it was McKernan, but Burton coming on and having an influence. Rawlings working hard. David King has certainly had an influence. 10 possessions. That could have been a free to him, and yes, he'll take it. Indiscriminate tackle from Dean Solomon. Short kick from King, he's all right. Harvey. Shannon Grant leads for him. Goes long. Rocker has been tremendous today. He's just been a great target for them. That's his 5th mark and his 10th possession. Even he's too far at the score this time. Teague at the back, McKernan at the front. Alessio almost pulled it down. The big man, Spider Burton, he has kicked another one. Well, maybe it won't stop. Maybe it'll just keep going.
Someone has forgotten to tell Spider that he's 6'10" and not a rover. He did that beautifully, the big fella, didn't he? There's Sab Rocker once again. The thing about Rock, he's prepared to play in front of his opponent, which is Dustin Fletcher. That's a great pick-up from the big fella, Spider Burton, and he's very happy. Dream start again for the second quarter for the Kangaroos.
So a royal wave from Spider Burton to his legion of fans in the Great Southern Stand. Amazing effort to be front and square, run to the contest and rove. And if that doesn't prove to you that today's an unusual day, then nothing does. Here they go again, the Kangas. Makepeace on the end of a Grant handball. On his wrong side, it goes with the right foot towards Rocker again. Fletcher, that's his first contest he's won. And the jeers from the Bomber supporters, or maybe they're the Kangaroo supporters, let him know that he's having a bleak day today. Here's Jason Johnson, their most prolific midfielder. Bangs it to full forward to Lloyd in the box seats.
Great kick.
Well, Johnson's had 8 possessions. He's been their only midfielder who's held his own with his opponent.
Well, you're right. He's got Adam Sims who's got the job on him at the moment, Hutchie. Adam Sims had the 5 touches with 2 marks. But Jason Johnson, I think you're right there, Harley. You called great kick. It was a great kick. But good play by Fletcher too, to use his body to beat Sab Rock on that occasion.
Well, Lloyd, who was under an injury cloud with an ankle, we thought before today, but wearing massive thigh bandages also.
Mark Johnson coming off here, Hutch, and Corey McGrath for his first run for the Bombers.
So a pretty important kick this for Lloyd. That's an understatement. They trail by 64 points, 3 minutes into the second term. And we cringe every time we say that because we just can't believe it either. Lloyd's kick on goal is a goal. A much needed one for the Bombers.
Well, there it is. We see Fletcher, good body work. As we know quite well, I mean, Sab Rock has been in great touch. That first quarter, he kicked 4 goals. The kick from Fletcher was very good. Good hands here, once again, from Jason Johnson, the brilliant in-form midfielder for the Bombers. The kick was absolutely spot on. The good checks mark there from Lloyd, kicking his second goal.
Well, that goal breaks a run of 8 straight goals for the Kangaroos. Johnson really is working hard to try and get the Bombers back into it. You just can't count them out, even though the margin is so great. James Hird off one step, puts it out in front of Lloyd, and this time he couldn't take it. Well worked from Shannon Watt. Pressure from Corey McGrath was good, but he's given away a free.
Yeah,
he gets a warning too from the umpire.
Did he? Yeah. Blakey had his head over the footy. Probably that was the danger there in that collision.
McCartney's got Makepeace on, and he just drops the ball at the crucial stage. He was another player who was pretty good for them in the opening quarter. That's his 8th possession. It wasn't his best one. Solomon taking the mark. Mercury drops forward into some space, but he couldn't get the ball to him. He goes for Hird instead. Lloyd to come over the top, and Lloyd almost takes the mark, but not quite. Hird finds a way to get the ball out to Johnson. Byron Pickett got him high, and the umpire saw it. Byron knew it was just a fleeting touch. And the crowd give a roar of approval.
Yeah, a bit unlucky there, Byron Pickett. It appeared he was trying to grab the ball as it bounced back.
Yep, he was, but he just touched him.
Yeah, slightly touched him. You're right, Harley. He did slightly touch him.
As you said, Hutchie's probably been their best midfielder so far today. Jason Johnson, certainly, he's been working very hard to try and get them back in the game. His 10th possession is not a good one. It's a behind. 3-4-22 Essendon, 13-1-79 the Kangaroos.
There's Johnny Barnes on screen there, as we can see here. Started the game rucking now, but Steve Alessio who's taken over that role.
Just on Johnson Hawk, is their leading kick getter this year with 212. Their leading handballer with 94. Their leading tackler with 33. And their leader in hardball gets with 58. So he's their most important midfielder, clearly.
Outstanding season, no doubt about that, Hutch.
King brings the ball in towards Burton, who's roving today. Here's Carousella, short pass, good vision, and didn't quite hit the target. And Teague, who's got a bit of flair about him, takes the mark and dashes away. Looks like one of those kangaroos of the 70s with a long mane of hair. Here's Shannon Grant, bounces once, chip pass to the goal square. Another chance for the Kangas. Rawlings couldn't quite take it, didn't quite have the hands of his brother on that occasion. Here's Hardwick to clear for the Bombers, and they're away. But it doesn't sit. Nothing has all day. Pickett to Harvey, who tries to crash his way through, couldn't get through. Here's McCurry trying to get it out. Grant did well again to soccer it forward. Carousella in the heat to Hardwick, the All-Australian, who will need to be one today. Here goes Ramanaskas, couldn't take it. King trying to burst his way clear. He's held up. He gave a little cheeky one there, and he should be pinged for holding the ball.
He's not. It's a ball up.
I think it was a good decision, Hutch. He only had the ball for probably a split second. If you see the replay in a minute, he took one step, he had nowhere to go, and the ball was held to him.
The umpire quickly balling it up, restarting play. King gets some treatment from Joe Mercedes, and the umpire says throw it in. And some words for Joe Mercedes. It's getting pretty fierce and pretty willing out there. The tackling. That's an interesting call, that one. And you can see that there's a bit going on underneath the bleachers there, close to the boundary line. Ramanauskas very close, over on the full.
Hasn't this got finals intensity?
13-1 to 3-4. Shannon Grant looking to launch it. He didn't. He just waited to kick beautifully for McKernan. The only one that was going to spoil him on that occasion was Jason McCartney, who didn't quite know that McKernan was coming. But in the end, McKernan was able to take it cleanly.
Well, you did right, Hutch, about the finals atmosphere, but every game for the Kangaroos as they run into the end of the year is like a final game for them. They've got to keep winning games to make the final 8.
This, if they win today, will just be an amazing victory for them. And we really set up their season.
It's home.
That's number 14. First goal for Corey McKernan. 14-1, 85, the Kangaroos to 3-4-22. I was listening to Talkback Radio on the way in today, and someone rang in and said they spotted 4 UFOs last night in suburban Melbourne, and I didn't believe it. But maybe there was some truth in it. Maybe it's had some effect on today's game.
Just the use of the footy's been terrific, the Kangaroos.
So it's 63 points the difference. And Hutto's talking UFOs in the box. Such has been the Kangaroo onslaught. Simpson kicked to full forward. Another chance for Rocker. He's kicked 4. Will it sit for him? Henneman goes for the safety of the boundary line. That's his only friend at the moment. And the ball dribbles over for a throw-in.
James Hurd's had the 10 touches. He's been pretty good. But normally when they're under the pump, he normally goes in that midfield. He hasn't done that yet. He's just stayed on a half-forward flank. He's been picked up by Glenn Archer.
Special comments from AFL legend, 350-game player Doug Hawkins today. He's never seen anything like this, he reckons. Shannon Grant could kick another one. Don't tell me it's going to sneak in. It has. They cannot miss. Two goals to Shannon Grant. And the lead is 69 points in the second term.
They've just taken the sting out of any Essendon comeback here, haven't they, effectively, Dougie?
They've absolutely belted them, and that's what they've done. Their football's been just so clean, it's been first class. There's Shannon Grant giving the old 2-finger salute to the supporters of the Kangaroos. But you're right, Hutch, I've been around the Cape for a fair while now. I haven't seen something like this before for a long, long time.
Well, they feel like they owe them, I'm sure. Round 1 this year, it was 23 goals, 8 to 9-7. The qualifying final last year was 31 goals, 12 to 11-7. And in round 13 last year, 17-17 to 11-4. So they've been on the end of some real thumpings from the Bombers in recent times, who have won the last 5 between these two sides. Now Essendon trying to mount something. Pretty labour intensive, but they get it away and get it out of the middle. Blake Carousella cannot stand up today. Keeps falling over. Barnard got Lloyd down deep. Hurd in shorter, went for Lloyd over the back of Hurd. Good defence by Shannon Watt. And there's Teague. Just did enough to interrupt the path of McGrath. Motlop able to clear onto the wing. Good desperation from Digby Morrell. Couldn't take the footy with him, but he gets it over the boundary line.
You see Mercedes having a bit of a spell here for the Bombers, and Mark Bolton on for his first run for the Bombers.
Well, the Bombers have been below strength, we know, on many occasions this year, but they've got most of their stars out there today. Solomon brilliantly smothered. Quick kick from Johnson. All the Kangaroos. Good work from Corey McGrath to come in and tap it away. Teague was waiting for the handball. Kicks it forward. McKernan well in front of Henneman. Oh, he just got under it too far. He just went, he's missed. His judgment there was just ordinary. And it has proved costly. It might even cost them a goal. Moorcroft. Oh, he went very short. Went for Hurd. Couldn't get him. Great tackle on Teague. Gets a ball up.
It is a great tackle, you're right, Hutto. And I like to look at this young fella, Hutch. You mentioned before, young David Teague. He's been very good. He had Mercury at the start of the game. He's been moved away from him. He's been very good on half-back flank for the Kangaroos.
McCartney to Blakey. Ball up. Landmark day for the Kangaroos. And they're sometime in Battled Football Club. 15-1-91. Against the reigning premiers and the undisputed kings of AFL football. There's Moorcroft from 60, just bangs it in. Lloyd's going to have to fly at the back. He was airborne, couldn't take it. Here's King trying to get the handball away. Carousel clever. Johnson should kick a goal. Johnson has kicked a goal.
I thought Matthew Lloyd was going to challenge Gary Moorcroft for a minute then.
He got up high, didn't he? Yeah, he got up fairly high, Matty Lloyd, on that occasion. David King looked for the handball, and the ball was turned over. Good work there from Blake Carousel to get the ball quickly across to Jason Johnson, who's had a matter of fact, a terrific game. He's had 12 touches now and kicked his first goal. So 1 goal, 2 he has.
(15-1) against 4-4. Barnes, McKernan won the tap. Carousella. Oh, Blakey spilled it under a lot of pressure. Corey Jones on the ground. It is quite slippery on that wing, there's no doubt about that. That's good tackling on Mark McCurry by Corey Jones. Another ball up. Shannon Grant's had 14 possessions for the Kangaroos. David King 12, Rocker 10, Harvey 12.
And Mercedes on the bench with just 3. How often's that happen?
Not too often. He had 31 last week. He's been pretty good touch, Joe Mercedes.
Crowd giving the umpire a bit of a roar for the free kicks. It was 4-1 in the Kangaroos' favour in the first quarter. It's now 7-3 overall in favour of the Kangaroos.
Well, they're first to the football, that's all that is.
Good pass from Barnes. And Jacobs pushing forward on T. Loops it over the top for Hurd. And, oh, crunch, that'll be 50. No,
Play on.
It wasn't 50. Hurd played on. And then, in slow motion, he kicked the goal in very interesting fashion.
I'd like to look at that. Firstly, whether it should have been 50, and secondly, the kick, which, speaking of UFOs, Hutto, spun like one.
That was very late, wasn't it?
Very late, very untidy work there.
Pretty committed though, wasn't he, Hawk?
He was committed, very untidy. That is a kick of an absolute champion. Brilliant play there by James Hurd. He's a superstar.
Either that or it was sort of a fluke off the boot.
He's a superstar.
So Doug Hawkins calls it the kick of an absolute champion. Hutto thought he duffed it. I'm sure the truth lies somewhere in between. And the truth for the Bombers is that they are getting absolutely walloped at the moment by an inspired Kangaroo team intent on revenge and making a grand statement about their season this year. Rocker again couldn't take it, and well, just suddenly the Bombers have got a tiny bit of momentum all of a sudden. This is where the Kangaroos just got to hold their nerve. Bolton towards half forward. Hurd again, who's getting into the play. Carousel on the end of it. Goes for Lloyd. Goes for Lloyd and gets Lloyd.
What a handball that was from James Hurd.
Well, it was in one stride there, Hutto. Great players can do that. They can take the grab as they go on the ground. He just got the ball very quickly. It all started with Johnny Barnes is back on the ground. His handball set that ball up, and this he went across to Mark Bolton. The kick was terrific. There it is. Look at the hands. Just quick hands there across to Carousel.
12 possessions for James Hurd. Sorry, Hawk.
You're right, mate.
And Lloyd's on the side which best suits him, and he's sweeping left foot. He's already kicked 2 goals straight today, and is certainly having a stellar season for the Bombers. He leads their marks for the year with 103, and of course leads their goals, and has kicked 3 today, and the Bombers have got 3 on the trot.
You never write a great side off like the Bombers. I mean, the Kangaroos have been absolutely sensational. I mean, Kevin Sheedy has really moved his players around here so far in this second quarter. We see Hefner now, he's gone to half-back flank, picking up Byron Pickett. Barnard's gone to a wing to pick up Jess Sinclair, who's been in great touch. So really starting to try a few things, Kevin Sheedy.
Does Dennis Pagan go a bit more conservative now, Dougie, or does he have to keep attacking?
I think just keep going for the doctor there. I don't think just keep attacking at this stage of the game.
Out of the middle. Moorcroft.
Oh,
Teague,
too high.
crunched.
That's too high, surely.
In his 4th game. Certainly finding out what it's all about as we see the players sitting down for the Kangaroos. Digby Morrell having a rest. Troy Makepeace. (15-1) plays 6-4. Lucas, who's been very quiet for the Bombers. That's just his 4th possession. Smashed away by Blakey. This is Barnard now. Jess Sinclair in pursuit. Quick kick from Barnard. Close to the line. Barnes kept it in, which was not a bad option.
Oh.
Johnson went through. Didn't make serious contact. King went for the boundary line, as he often does. We've seen a free kick here against Jess Sinclair. I hate those free kicks.
What was that for? I missed that one.
He pushed him and Ramanauskas went to ground.
And there's Bombers on here.
Look at Lucas from behind. Lloyd tried to climb the mountain. No free kick. Thought he might have got the hands in the back. Blakey under pressure. Wide to the boundary. Oh, Harvey, did he go over? No, he didn't. And Grant takes the mark. King takes the mark, and so Kangaroos just being forced to hold up in their tracks here, and what they were doing in the first quarter was just moving it on at all costs. And obviously the Bombers are trying to slow them down here and interrupt their movement. Moorcroft does that very effectively. Lloyd's behind, he's got the ride, and he's got the mark.
Well, he's proving their biggest problem at the moment, the Kangaroos. Hawk, without Mick Martin, the job for Watt's probably just a little bit beyond him at the moment.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Hutch. And there's the tackle that's in the ground, the high tackle. I thought there maybe could have been a free kick there to David Teague. And there we are, we see Matthew Lloyd. We talk about, the full forwards a dying race in our great game of footy. We see Rocker today's kicked 4 brilliant goals, and this bloke down the other end kicking 4 goals as well. 3 goals, sorry, this could be the 4th.
So Matty Lloyd and James Hurd have been so influential in this second quarter in mounting something of a comeback.
Sinclair having a bit of a spell, Hutto, for that push there on Ramanauskas. Harris on for his first run.
I think that may have been a blood rule, actually, Doug.
Was it? Okay.
Well, everyone stopped.
Ozzy might have looked at that one in a minute for us, if it is a blood rule on Sinclair, Oz.
No, definitely not. He's straight on the phone to Pagan. I'd have to disagree with you, Hutto. What he did was pretty undisciplined. He's been good today, but it was a pretty ordinary free kick to give away.
Thanks, Ozzy. 15-1 I wasn't necessarily saying that wasn't a free kick, but often the players accentuate the contact, and sometimes I think the umpires would be better just to give them a word of warning.
Corey McKernan having a spell too, boys.
Well,
he's had 4 kicks.
McKernan's is the blood rule, and I reckon that's why play was stopped.
Yep. So here's Lloyd. He's kicked 3 goals, and he's leading them. Well, they like it behind the goals. Lloyd's not so sure. The umpire is.
Oh.
That's 4. Brett Harvey is standing to argue.
Yep.
As is John Blakey and Jason McCartney.
They're not happy. Well, there's the mark. We can see Moorcroft. He's had 5 kicks done to get rid of the footy. Gee, he goes a long way, the umpire, doesn't he?
So a questionable goal for Matthew Lloyd. He's kicked 4. We've seen 22 goals in 20 minutes into the second term and 22 goals in the game.
It's been a shootout, hasn't it, so far? I mean, all one way. But that's what I was talking about. Wonder whether Dennis might wish to just
pull up a bit.
Yeah.
Can't help think back to a game in '89, Hutto. I'm sure you'll know what I'm talking about.
Hawthorn and Geelong.
At Optus Oval, or then Princess Park, about round 8. The Hawks led by 58. The Cats led by 58. And the Hawks came from nowhere, the Kings, and got over the top of them in a shootout.
Gary Ayres went into the centre. Gavin Exel kicked 9 that day, I think, for Geelong.
Well done. Only a frustrated Geelong supporter would know that. Moorcroft to centre wing. Johnson couldn't take it. And has got an unbelievable splash of the difference about it, this game of football. Johnson, who's been the key playmaker, and Lloyd's got it again. Lloyd and Johnson, along with Hurd, are keeping the Bombers in it. And you just get the feeling this game is far from over. The Bombers have kicked 5 goals to 3 this quarter. 5 goals to 4 make that.
You just wonder now, Hutch, you did right about Shannon Watt.
Yeah.
Maybe a move could be made. Maybe Jason McCartney could be the man to go across to Matthew Lloyd. I'm not convinced about Glenn Archer. Can weigh a bit of size there to Matty Lloyd, but McCartney could be the man.
This, as you said, Hutchie, brings back memories of that game in '89, which people still remember fondly as being a sensational match. This game, if Essendon do continue on, just shapes as being absolutely brilliant from here on in.
Could be one of the epics. Now, the scoreboard is surreal at the moment, 45 points. And I'll tell you what else is surreal. If Lloyd kicks this, the Bombers will kick 5 unanswered goals. And Lloyd's kicked it. He's kicked 5, and the Bombers have kicked that many on the trot. One of the great games of football in memory.
Well, there we are. Lloyd has kicked 3 goals in 6 minutes. I mean, Jason Johnson continuing to win the ball in the middle of the ground. He's had 13 touches now. He's kicked the goal. Great body work from Matthew Lloyd on that occasion once again. He's keeping they're keeping him alive, he is. 5 goals to Lloyd.
It's game on here at the MCG. 15 goals to 8. You'd think the team with 15 would be in the box seat, and I guess they are. But gee, who wouldn't think that the Bombers aren't a big chance now? Johnson gets them going out of the middle again. Lalich went to ground. Hurd, brilliant tackle from Archer. The pressure on. Lalich trying to get it out. The pressure is really on now. Hurd, Carousella, he can launch one. He had the time. He used the time. He used it wisely and kicks a goal. Here they come. This is just amazing stuff. 15 goals to 9, and we're not even at half time.
Well, Jason Johnson once again with quick hands there, you'll see in a minute. Absolutely on fire. There is a handball from Johnson that quickly. We had trouble seeing it, and Hurd across to Carousella. Carousella's been brilliant.
If they win this game, the Bombers, it will be the greatest comeback in AFL VFL history. They trailed by 69 points at the 9-minute mark of the second term. No side in their history of football as we know it have been able to do that. Today, they look some sort of chance. Burton stripped of the football. The Kangaroos are getting beaten in the clinches at the moment. The clinches that they dominated in the first term, in the first half of the second. And if you've turned up today and sat in the Ponsford stand, which can be the ugly duckling of the MCG, you've seen 18 goals kicked to that end.
And there's no wind, is there, at all, basically?
Burton, Solomon, Colbert back on the ground, just one possession in the first quarter. Handball towards Cochrane, who's played every game. Grant, who'll have to batten down the hatches here because Johnson's after him. Bangs him into the turf. They go in like a wrestling scrum. Or a rugby scrum, even. And he'll have a bounce.
Just tough footy in at the moment. There's a tackle here. We see Grant. There he is, Mark Johnson. Buried him in, and there's about 3 or 4 Essendon players come over the top. Here's hard stuff.
And Shannon Grant will have to come off. He can hardly keep his feet after that knock.
Yep. Have a look at him. He's in trouble. You're right, Oz.
Yeah, he doesn't know where he is.
He's coming off.
Well, that's a big blow for the Kangaroos. He's had 10 kicks and 6 handballs. Their leading possession getter on the ground. He's kicked 2 cool goals, and he will be badly felt by the Kangaroos. His absence, that is. The ball kicked out the back, marked by Bolton. Long handball over the top. Barnard, so good in the clinches at the moment, the Bombers. Their skills by hand have been terrific. McCurry does a U-turn and kicks to half forward towards Johnson, who takes a ripper, continues to run, turns his opponent inside out, bangs it inside. Terrific football, and he'll have to go here, Teague. He fumbled at the crucial stages, going in hard with Simpson. He's bottled up. The Bomber supporters demand holding the football.
You just wonder now what you do here if you're Dennis Pagan, you know. Do you, Rob? There's a Shannon Grant crunch. Hit his head on the ground. That's where the damage was done. The tackle was okay there from Mark Johnson. Just hit his head on the ground.
Simpson, clearing kick. Coleman underneath it. And the umpire says we'll bounce.
I just reckon now, Hutto and Hutch, if I was Dennis Pagan, to rob Peter to pay Paul, you may chuck Byron Pickett back there just to steady things up a little bit. His hardens the footy might help out that back line a little bit at this stage.
9-4 to 15-1. Bombers have slammed on 6 in a row after the Kangaroos kicked 8 in a row. Clearing kick into the middle. Solomon takes the mark. Quick kick off the left. Barnes is pushed forward. He spills it, but gets a chance to recover. McCurry normally works so well in those situations, as does Hurd. Barnard just bangs it onto the boot, and Lloyd's going to get another one. He's going to get another one. 6 to the best from Matthew Lloyd. 7 in a row for the Bombers. 10-4 to 15-1. And good luck to the producers who are going to try and put highlights packages together from this game this afternoon.
Beautifully said, Hutto. No doubt about that. I mean, just the quickness of the way the ball's being moved around. You mentioned before, Hutch, this is like finals. No doubt it is. The man that's got the Bombers going is Johnny Barnes in the centre of the ground. He's been terrific. There's McCartney's gone to Lloyd.
So McCartney's gone to Lloyd, but Lloyd's gone to another level. He's kicked 6.
Had to make the move, Hutch. No doubt about that. McCartney had to go to Lloyd.
The Bombers by just 27. Excuse me, the Kangaroos by just 27. The Bombers have kicked the last 7 goals of this game. Incredible. Barnard bursts through Hamill. It doesn't hit its target, but the Bombers are doing all the attacking. This is fitting of a grand final at the moment. Hardwood to Carousella. Isn't he starting to get the football? Hamill over the top towards Heffernan. Steadies him up. Goes inside. All the numbers forward. Here's Bolton. He should kick a goal. He's in space. Lines it up. The Bombers have kicked 8 in a row. The MCG is jumping, and with 2 minutes left to half-time, what Jeff Walsh of the Kangaroos warned at quarter-time has come back to bite them on the backside at the moment, because the Bombers have kicked the last 8. They trailed by 69 points at the 9-minute mark of the second term.
Well, as we used to say, calling country footy, if you're in the area, get down here now. This is one heck of a game. 15-1 to 11-4. 70 playing 91. The Kangaroos actually kicked 9 in a row at one stage, and the Bombers have come back with the next 8. Absolutely amazing. Harris is in the game, but this man has ripped them apart out of the middle. Deserves a goal. Winds up for another one and slams it through. Jason Johnson. He's a star. He is a star. 2 goals for Jason Johnson, 17 possessions.
Oh, wow.
And it's only 15 points the difference. And it might be too late for Dennis Pagan to start playing defensively.
Fair dinkum. Someone said AFL football's a bit boring, but gee, this is just one of the great games. Out of the centre once again, the Bombers.
Dennis Pagan ruining where his 69-point lead went. Yes, if you've just tuned in, 69 points the Kangaroos led by. And I had a feeling, I wrote it down at the 9-minute mark of the second quarter, that I might be looking at that statistic for the rest of the day. So far we have been. 9 unanswered goals to the Bombers. They've just got to find the line at half-time, the Kangaroos with the lead, and then start again and regroup. They're still in front, and it's easy to forget that because the Bombers are inspired. Moorcroft belts it over the boundary line for a throw-in. The Bombers had sand kicked in their face in the first quarter on the beach, and in the second term they've come out and been the bullies. Barnes all over Burton. Pickett, who might have been moved onto the football. Chance for Bolton, sockers it off the ground. This is good open football. The best half of football perhaps we can ever remember. Ball goes over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Jeez.
That's not an overstatement either, is it?
It's not no doubt about that, Hutch. It's like the heavyweight fight between Foreman and Ali. I mean, it's just the rumble in the jungle. This has been terrific. The heavyweights, fair dinkum, the heavyweights.
Always gets brought out, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
27 points. Certainly got the heavyweights in the commentary box. Here we go.
Talk about yourself.
Handball over the back. Harris, who's just on the ground. What a stage for a young man to leave his mark. The ball goes over for a throw-in. Inside 50 in the second quarter. Essendon 19, the Kangaroos 5. Second term marks 22-7 in favour of the Bombers.
They've had 20 more kicks as well.
Carousel a handball. Sinclair tackled. They're just 15 points behind. And as we mentioned, they would need to forge the greatest comeback in AFL history to win. Had 14 tackles to this quarter, the Bombers, to only 5 to the Kangaroos. The tackling's been terrific this second term. Moorcroft, who looks like he's gone onto the ball, had such a busy quarter. His intensity's been terrific. Simpson bangs it off the ground. They're missing Shannon Grant. His influence. Now he's off the ground. Belted away towards Pickett. Get the feeling the Kangaroos can really just use a goal here to settle them at half-time. Squares it up, good kick. At the back, Teague. What a mark from the young man, David Teague. The Rod Stewart haircut. That was Pickett. He just squeezed his body past 2 Essendon defenders there to set that play up. Great play by Byron Pickett. Courageous mark here from David Teague. It's been very impressive.
Not quite Rod Stewart.
Looks like Sean Cassidy.
15 points the difference. The Bomber supporters at that end are booing. His side needs this just to quell the momentum. It's a big kick, and he's come good. He's kicked a goal. They stopped the hemorrhaging at half-time, and the Kangaroos, despite having conceded 9 consecutive goals, take a 21-point lead against the kings of AFL football into half-time. It's been a half where we've seen 28 goals, 5 kicked, and football at its absolute best.
Amazing stuff. You talked about football being boring, Dougie, but we haven't seen flooding today. Isn't it great when there's no flooding? We've seen a little bit of it, but not too much.
Everybody go get a video. Sorry, mate. Everyone go get a video of this game so far.
12-4-76 Essendon. Kangaroos 16-197 at half-time. Hopefully the best is still to come.
Well, and there we are. We can see Michael Long and Dean Rioli here up in the grandstand. 2 very important players for the Bombers as well.
Third quarter from the MCG. Will it live up to the standards of the first 2? Caracella gets the first kick out of the middle. Johnson versus Blakey. Blakey had the better bounce, although in the end it eluded both of them. Jacobs wheeled through nicely. Quick kick. It's pretty good from Hardwick. Hurd was dragged down. Must be a free kick. He just lost his footing and he had to grab out, and he grabbed some of James Hurd's jumper. Glenn Archer.
Yeah, here we are. We can see the replay. You're right there. They lost his footing there, and Hurd. The good thing about Hurd, always plays in front, and if you do that, you do get rewarded.
Well, he was influential in the second quarter in bringing them back into the game, along with Lloyd and Johnson. He's missed this one. Hasn't quite made it, in fact. Now it's through for a behind. So I wonder what the impact of that goal by Teague on the halftime siren will have had in terms of the feeling both sides will have taken into the rooms.
Yeah, just probably would have given a bit of a steadier, I think, Hud, at this stage. Just one move that we can pick up at this stage. Now, Scott Lucas has gone to centre-half back, playing on Corey McKernan.
Harvey's coughed it up. The kick didn't hit the mark. He's gone that way the whole of this game so far. That pocket did so in the first quarter. And it is out on the full.
Just need a big lift to the Kangaroos from Lee Colbert. Only had the 3 touches now, and he's got the job on John Barnes in the ruck.
Okay, well, to throw in, it's just landed inside the line, and because he played on and not kicked from full back, doesn't count as not being touched. So throw in, Caracella, Hurd, great vision. The handball over the top was as slick as you'll ever see, and Moorcroft could almost finish it off.
He had a look to the centre of the ground there, Moorcroft. Probably teammates having a bit of a go at him. He did have a bit of a look across to the centre of the square. There was no one there, so he decided to have a shot. I thought he did the right thing on that occasion.
Makepeace with the kick in this time. He was zoned off pretty well, and it was only the very short option. Harvey wanted to move.
Sinclair's on.
16 goals won. It's still a phenomenal scoreline, isn't it, for a half of football? The accuracy. They're only behind, coming right on the siren at quarter time. They had to go very painfully short. And Lloyd, well, I thought he was within distance. He obviously didn't agree because he played on. Barnard spotted someone out of the corner of the eye.
Loose checking, that was.
And Jacobs is able to take the mark. Had a long time to man up on him, but they just couldn't get there in time.
And he was there on his own for a considerable number of time, and Teague saw he was on his own, but deemed that he wasn't his man, Hawk.
Yeah, it didn't go to him, did he, on that occasion? Just not sure of a few there. I thought Lloyd may have gone back there. He was on the 50-metre line. He's a very good kick. So that wouldn't be beyond him 50 metres, but he played on.
Danny Jacobs just kicked the 4 goals for the year. And that's pretty good. So the Bombers start with a goal in the third. Danny Jacobs, and they just creep ever closer.
Well, no doubt that's a start they wanted. The kick out from the back line from the Kangaroos was undecided, which turned the footy over. We see the handball from Lloyd over here to Barnard. He had a player, Jacobs, on his own there for about 2 minutes. And there was Shannon Motlop late to try and spoil. But that's a start the Bombers certainly would want in this third quarter.
"11 of the last 12 goals to the Kangaroos, to the Bombers, I should say. 11 of the last 12 to the Bombers. And they're back in this contest within 13 points, their closest margin since early in the first term. Ball goes to half forward. They're inspired at the moment. Barnard bangs it inside to Hurd, who starts to cut up Archer. Takes a mark. Mark number 5. Sun in the eyes of Lloyd, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what's in his eyes. He is on fire at the moment. And if he kicks this, the Bombers, in the space of 25 minutes of football time, will have erased a 69-point lead back to 7 points.
The round the corner kick from Paul Barnard was absolutely brilliant to find James Hurd. And I thought you caught it right, Hutch. No doubt Lloyd had the sun in his eyes. I think Jason McCartney had the same problem. He appeared to put the hands up to try and shoot that sun from his eyes as well.
Matthew Lloyd, he kicked 1 goal in the first term and 5 goals in the second term for a total of 6 today.
6 kicks too, Hutch.
Thank you, Hawk. Lloyd's kicked the goal. 7 kicks, 7 goals.
8 marks, 7 kicks, 7 goals. It's pretty efficient.
I wouldn't have guessed he'd had 6 kicks, Hawk.
Well, he might have had 8. He wouldn't have known. He didn't have a look. But anyway, good play by Barnard there to find James Hird. And the kick wasn't that flash initially. It was fairly high from a 1-foot movement of Hird there to find Lloyd. But as we said before, McCartney couldn't see because of the sun. Great goal from Lloyd.
So what will Dennis Pagan do? What will his team do? How can they respond? They continue to be bombarded here by Essendon. 16-1 plays 14-6. McKernan. They need a lift out of the middle, the Kangaroos. They were so brilliant there in the first quarter. Archer. He's gone off Hird. Blakey's gone back onto James Hird. Archer running on the wing. It was a wobbly old one. Got through to David King, but also got past him. Ramanauskas went backwards. McCurry eluded the tackle and couldn't do much with it. And well wrapped up. You just can't expect this game to go at the same frantic pace as it went for the whole first half, surely.
All of a sudden we find ourselves wondering how the Kangaroos can get back in the game.
And they're in front. But they've been absolutely thrashed over the last 30 minutes or so. No one got the tap down. Extraordinary. Morrell, little kick only as far as Masiti. Put it out in space for Jacobs. Shannon Watt, who had the job on Lloyd at the start of the day. Good work, Jacobs. Gave Carousella a lot of space to work in. And he sized up the options and he said, Mark Johnson, you're the man.
Well, Carousella now has had 16 touches. He's been absolutely brilliant. Kicked a goal. Where they can get back in the game, the Kangaroos, is back in that midfield. That's when they've been absolutely slaughtered late in that second quarter, and again at the start of this third quarter. Sav Rocco has been on fire. He's kicked 4 goals and beat Start of opportunities. That's how you get back in the game.
Trying to cut the margin to just 1 point. Instead, it remains at 6. 16-1 to 14-7.
Sinclair was the player who set them alight in the first quarter, Hawk. They really need him to get back into the game, the Kangaroos.
No doubt about that, Hutch, and Harvey and King.
Well, Harvey brings it in and goes long for the first time to a 1-on-1. So just a sign of panic creeping in there. McKernan bangs it onto the boot. Circa 1995 style, that the Kangaroos. Solomon, good hands. Johnson, clever. Really starting to hold the football until the options are on. Heffernan releases Hird, who's bottled up. The intensity just creeping back into this game again. Lucas bangs it towards half forward. A chance here for McKernan. He'll need to go. The heat was on. Makepeace will need to hold his nerve, and he did.
Well done.
He did beautifully. Danced down to the pack and took them on. Burst off half back and kicked the half forward. This is where they're falling down. Pickett, one hand, takes the mark. Thought about going.
Look at that. They've got 2 on 1 down there. Shannon Grant on his own for a long time.
And Grant will take the mark.
Oh.
And tries to convince the umpire of 50. That wasn't on. And Shannon Grant, who, it's fair to say, is one of the Kangaroos' most reliable shots at goal from a set shot or on the run.
In 8 minutes of football, sorry, Doug, in 8 minutes of football, Simpson's had 1 kick, Archer's had 1 kick, Rocker's had 1, Pickett 2, Harvey 1, and only 3 other players have had 1 kick. They've just, none of them have
getting the footy.
Not getting the footy.
9 possessions of football in 9 minutes from the Kangaroos. And Shannon Grant, he's been consistent, had 5 and 3 in both the first and second. He's kicked 2 goals, 1 in each quarter.
That's home.
And he's kicked a goal.
No.
Point. Cheer squad got me then of the Kangaroos behind the goals. They liked it. And there's been plenty of conjecture about a couple of goals at that end throughout this game.
I'll tell you what happened just a minute ago. No doubt Grant was on his own. Fletcher saw him but decided to go with his man Rocker. Didn't go back, didn't push back on that occasion.
That's true.
Fletcher.
Yep, that's true.
I just wonder, Hutto, there's ever been 22 goals kicked at one end and a half in a game of football before.
Yeah, I was wondering that as well. Not sure. Digby Morrell gets it in there quickly, as they did in the first quarter, and it's effective. And Brady Rawlings presents himself. I think what we saw a few minutes ago, Dougie, with Makepeace sort of taking them on and starting to give them some run out of half-back, and the tackling that just suddenly reappeared. That's what they did in the first quarter, wasn't it?
Yeah, no doubt. The pressure they applied to Essendon, particularly in their midfield and their back line, was just terrific. And you're dead right, Makepeace coming down the ground. They really set this up again for the Kangaroos to get back into this, well, not back into this game, but to continue on their merry way.
7 points is the margin at the moment. We saw him miss one earlier. In fact, he kicked one earlier. And that was very close. He likes it. It's a goal. It's his second goal. So 2 goals from Brady Rawlings. 17-2, 104. Plays 14-7, 91.
Well, just a bit of a steadier. They certainly do need the Kangaroos at this stage. As you mentioned a minute ago, John Blakey now has gone across to James Hird. Glenn Archer's been moved over to Mark Johnson, who's playing in the forward pocket here for the Bombers. And Barnes continues in the ruck.
So the Kangaroos answer. And Hutto, I know you're interested. There's been 23 goals kicked at that end of the Ponsford stand now. I can tell before you were curious about that statistic. McKernan and Barnes, such a crucial contest. McKernan wins it, Simpson, and the centre clearance is all going the Kangaroos' way again. What a game of flows it's been. Harvey takes them on. Real confidence and flair. Runs inside, kicked to Pickett, who tried to claim the mark. And somehow has been able to convince the umpire it was worth a free kick.
He actually played on, but the umpire didn't realise, so he's bringing it back.
You just reckon every time Shannon Grant gets hold of that football, he gets absolutely pounded. The Bombers blokes just absolutely go him. Just see here, Pickett goes to the ground. Well, yeah, it's very untidy.
He must have paid the mark, but he hasn't taken the mark for mine, and it hasn't gone enough.
No, he paid
in the back. It has to be in the back.
He paid the free. It was a shocker.
It was incredible. Could be important. Pickett to the goal square. Chance at the back.
Oh, McKernan.
And the front, McKernan screams at himself, says, that's what we ought to do, Corey. That's what's needed in these situations.
You're dead right, Hutch. These are the games where, you know, we've touched on a couple of times with no Wayne Carey there. This is the man who really's got to do this sort of stuff, and he just did it beautifully, Corey McKernan.
It's a terrific look, that, isn't it?
Corey McKernan runs in and kicks his second, and the Kangaroos answer. They've snuck away to a 19-point lead.
Well, sorry, Hutch, that's the sort of stuff he did in '96 when he had an outstanding season. One grabbers, and you see the look on his face when he took that mark. He was just delighted. Great stuff, Corey.
Well, the man has done a lot of psychological work with Corey McKernan is our very own Richard Osbourne at boundary line.
Yeah.
Ozzy, was that part of your routine to scream at yourself after you take a mark?
Well, actually, I was speaking to him the other night, and I said that's one thing he should be doing more, going for those big marks.
18-2 against 14-7. So the Kangaroos have responded as they had to. Will they continue it, or can the Bombers hit back? McKernan got hands to it, but Johnson got the centre clearance. Mercedes got it long and got it in there quickly. Moorcroft was strong. Makepeace right up to it. McCartney tries to shrug his way through, and he did that. Got them moving. Harvey couldn't take the mark. Lloyd a long way from home. Mercury wasn't trapped, and so McGrath was able to get clear. And now Mercedes, they've worked it pretty well. McGrath, suddenly they ran out of space. And this is where the Roos can run. They can run and gun. Little hand pass was terrific. And away goes Sinclair. Really starting to build. He can go all the way to 50. Sets it up. Archer's not quite in it. Now he is. Just couldn't hold it. And drags it down. And then he decided that he better get it over the boundary line. (14-7) against 18-2. Midway through this third quarter. McKernan again, grabbing it, trying to release it. Lucas wouldn't let him away, and McKernan in the end didn't take it out. Now it goes out.
Just 6 possessions for Joe Mercedes, Hawk.
Very quiet to his standards, Hutch, no doubt about that. As we know, last week he had 30-odd touches and in outstanding form for the Bombers. He's another player has to lift his work rate for the Bombers.
Byron Pickett now playing out of the square for the Kangaroos. Jacobs works it back. Mercury, a lot of players around the footy. And he finds a man. And that was a good kick for Ramanauskas.
Handball's over to Fletcher, who signals that he's going along and goes in that direction. Johnson worked his way to the front. Free kick, I reckon. Play on to the umpire, Mercedes.
Great
Kicks
kick.
the full forward. And Lloyd's taking the mark. A little bit of confusion there over whether the whistle had been blown or not. It may have been the advantage rule in the end, but the Kangaroos are crying foul. In the end, Lloyd, who has kicked 7 today without Martin around.
Can't do much about those kicks too, Hutch, just quietly. The kick from Smoking Joe Mercedes was an absolute spot-on kick. Put the ball out in front of Lloyd. McCartney couldn't do a thing about that one.
7 kicks, 8 marks, and 7 goals. So he's kicked a goal from every mark. And this for number 8 for Matthew Lloyd. He makes no mistake. The Bombers are still coming.
Just see Johnny Barnes there having a bit of a walk around the boundary there with young Mark Bolton. Gives him a bit of a pat on the back. But there we are. We see Fletcher coming down the ground now. He's gone back to full back to pick up Sab Rocker. Fletcher's only had the 5 kicks. But there's the man you mentioned before, Hutch. Really had to get back into the game, Smoking Joe Mercedes. It's the quality of the man. Brilliant kick from Joe Mercedes to Matthew Lloyd.
So we've had a massive comeback and an 8-goal game so far from Matthew Lloyd, and we're only midway through the third quarter. 18-2 to 15-7. McKernan still in ruck, this time opposed to Lalich. He won it decisively too. Harvey, the idea was good. In fact, the execution was all right as well. Archer shoveled it. Harvey kept on going. Looks up. Rocker doubles back in the square. He's got a bit of a run up. He just couldn't quite get there, but he made a contest, and that was important. Lucas in unusual position, right back in defence. Unfamiliar territory. Solomon takes the mark.
He's playing a centre-half back, Hutto, picking up Corey McKernan.
Had to switch it quickly. Hardwick. Lalich.
Johnson will be on.
Pushing in short. Lalich is still an option, and that's where he goes eventually. And the Kangaroos will be happy if Bombers have to start with short chipping across their half-back line. Lalich got no option at the moment but to go long.
Plenty of time.
That's what he does. Jacobs has to go. Caracella certainly did. Masiti looking for her, but it doesn't get there. King able to take the mark and releases Harvey. Oh, his kick wasn't really spot on. Harvey's got a bit of support. He had Johnson streaming after him. Did really well. Motlop, cool and calm. Looks down there for Grant and McKernan. But Scotty Lucas floating across centre half back. Takes the mark. Quick kick in for Barnard. Good desperation down there by Watt. But the Bombers will still get a scoring chance. And it's Judd Lalich off the left boot. And he misses as Lloyd tried to pull in another mark.
This game just doesn't get any worse as it goes on, does it? It's incredible at the moment. The intensity, the desire. We're just waiting for something to give, waiting for something to break. It's a 12-point ball game.
Oh.
It may have broken for Makepeace, but he gets out of trouble. Clearing kick, Lalich and Colbert. Simpson read it best at the back. Will need to hurry. Kicks onto his left foot. It's lucky, but it didn't sit for Pickett. And the Bombers are a chance. They've got all the numbers. McGrath, he missed Jacobs when he needed to hit him with the handball. That was costly, but Heffernan butters up well and kicks to half forward. It's cut off by Shannon Watt. He's had a bleak day. He really has found it tough today, but he's lifted here. Sinclair, short pass, doesn't quite hit Archer, who's followed Hurd all day and may have gone forward. Archer's kick was a beauty. And Shannon Grant, well, you give him some sort of chance from here. He's got a man on the goal square, and it might go through. It doesn't. Sinclair marked it on the goal line.
Fair enough, though. He had to be sure.
Well, may he rue that, because he'll get pulled around on it.
He's a left footer. He should be right.
An awful angle. It was definitely going through for a goal.
You think he'll step around here and on his preferred side being a natural left footer.
It's a tough kick,
Sinclair.
this.
Burton back on 2 boys. Morrell off the ground.
I just wonder what Dennis Pagan would say if this isn't a goal.
It's a pretty tough angle, isn't it?
And the men on the mark to the side there, you see Heffernan very close.
Very close. That post called play on.
10 metres.
Kick it anyway. Sinclair's put it beyond doubt. He's kicked his third.
Well, you're right. The Essendon players there were just too close. They're only probably 3 or 4 metres away. The kick from Archie was an absolute ripper. He looked up and there was Shannon Grant. It's good to see Shannon Grant back out on the ground. He's had 19 touches now, Shannon Grant, with the 4 marks. You're dead right, Hutch. This ball was certainly going. I don't think Sinclair knew where he was. He had to go for the ball. He was committed. And that's great play by Sinclair. Now he's kicked 3 goals. Been terrific.
Jess Sinclair, 15 possessions and 3 goals. 19-2 plays 15-8. Burton beaten for it that time by Lalich. So still plenty of time to go in this third quarter. 19 goals 2 against 15-8. Brent Harvey's had 20 possessions for the Kangaroos. 19 for Shannon Grant, 15 for Sinclair, as we mentioned. 15 for King. They've been the main ball winners for the Roos. Lalich, good tap for Caracella, who's coming into the game. He's had 9 kicks and 8 handballs, Caracella. Oh, good hands that was from McKerry.
Good tackle.
That was a great drag down on McGrath. He fought on McGrath, but Blakey's able to get the releasing kick. Now Shannon Grant, he looks up. It's 1-on-1 ahead of him. He has to wait till he could find someone. He went short, that's okay. Bit of a tumble for Burton, but he had someone in support in Motlop. Quick kick out wide. Colbert's had a really bad day. Only 3 possessions. It's not getting any better for him. Jacobs around the body. And the Bombers can build just off the wing. Mercedes had to kick under a fair bit of pressure. He's got it to Moorcroft, though, who takes it well. Hurd and Lloyd, the 2 stars, are ahead of him if he gets it in quickly. Goes for Lloyd from behind. He's kicked 8 today. Just couldn't take that one. And it's over and out.
Just the last couple of minutes, Shannon Motlop's got the ball on a couple of occasions. Instead of kicking the ball a bit more penetration, a bit longer, he's just lobbed the ball in the air. He gave his forwards absolutely no hope. Bit off kicking the ball a bit longer into your forward line, Shannon Motlop.
What the Kangaroos have managed to do is close the game up a little bit. So it's not such a free spirit, free-flowing game. It still is by normal accounts, but not compared to the first half. And that's going to be to their favour. They can just play man-on-man football and hold on from here. They can win this game, but the Bombers will keep coming, and keep coming they do. Get out of my way, says Jason Johnson. Gave the big Donahue and kicked the goal.
Well, he's kicked 3 goals now, and you just said before, you mentioned some of the leading stat getters for the Kangaroos. This is the man that really got him going again in that second quarter. Jason Johnson's had 21 touches. He now has kicked 3 goals too. James Hurd has had 18 touches with the 5 marks, but he's the man, number 14 for the Bombers. He's on fire.
Mark McCurry sits down, or he will in a moment. 4 and 8 for him in total, 12 possessions. 4 tackles though, so he's been competing hard. What a game this is at the MCG. We keep saying it, but it's just so hard to know where it's going to end up. I mean, this has been a pretty good quarter by the Kangaroos, even though Essendon have cut the lead from 21 points back to 12. They've shown that they can get it back on level terms and compete with them. So it's a matter of whether they can keep that up for the last quarter and the duration of this quarter.
Great tap.
Quick movement, but on the end of it, Hardwick holds it up. They're under pressure with these possessions. Eventually, the Kangaroos might just get an opportunity. Rocker it was, who got the handball out. McKernan, pretty slick work. Simpson, excellent kick. And Archer is going to go back and have a shot. It'll be right on the mark as to whether he can make it from there or not.
You think just may stretch him at this stage, Hutto, from that distance. Good play by Sinclair again. His attack on the footy today has been outstanding. He's been hard at the ball.
Byron Pickett makes the lead, but Archer ignores it. Just kicked the 2 goals this year, Glenn Archer. Oh, it's away to the left. He went, as we so often see, that extra bit of distance and missed to the left. 19-3. They've been pretty rare, those behinds today for the Kangaroos. 16-8 Essendon at the moment. So the Kangaroos holding on to a lead, but the Bombers starting to move it and move it pretty quickly.
And move it they do to Ramanauskas. Kicks to Judd Lelich on centre wing, who likes to play on and keep going. Does that. Goes to the pocket where all the sun is. Not sure that's productive. Lloyd ripped off it beautifully on that occasion by McCartney, and Lloyd reacts. Thought he got one around the chops. It may well be right.
There's a replay. We can see this now. Alessio's ran at McCartney.
Bit of extra attention there, wasn't there?
Yeah, just keep your head down for a bit longer, Matthew, on that occasion.
Don't see that very often from Matthew Lloyd. McCartney, happy to see it over. 13-point ball game, 25 minutes into the third term. The tale of the tape today is as follows. The Kangaroos kicked 12 in the first term to the Bombers 2. They led by 58 at quarter time and 69 at 9 minutes into the second quarter. The Bombers have kept coming. They got within 9. Now they're within 13, and it's almost three-quarter time, and there's another chance. Motlop and McGrath barrels over the boundary line for a throw-in. It's been a game laced with drama.
There's Lee Colbert, boys, on the bench there, with Digby Morrell as well. Lee Colbert's only had the 3 touches.
Burton won the hit out. Jason Johnson, the umpire's found a free kick for holding, and he's found it the way of the Bombers. And Brent Harvey can't believe it. Seemingly against him to Mark Johnson. And the replay will tell the tale here.
That was it.
Gee, very soft. I mean, he had his hand, but I mean... Anyway, very soft, I thought.
Important one for Mark Johnson. The man who wears the number 1 Guernsey. Can bring the Bombers within 7. And he has! Just on three-quarter time, the Bombers come again.
There's the ruck work from Alessio and Burton. There's the free kick there. I just thought that, yeah, it wasn't really a lot in that one against Brent Harvey. He's been a very good player for the Kangaroos. He's had 21 touches. He's been outstanding. That's Mark Johnson's first goal. Gone forward now, picked up by Harvey.
Well, it's back to 7 points. And again, we have to ask the question of whether the Kangaroos can withstand what is going to be fierce pressure from the Bombers. Lalich has done a good job for them in the middle. He's just started to give them something out of the middle in this quarter. Nice work from Solomon. Gets it in quickly. Alessio back on the ground. The big man's got it. Not paid. Cleaned up by McGrath, and he kicks a goal. It's a 1-point ball game at the MCG. What a comeback by Essendon. From 69 points down, they've got back to 1.
Yeah, just keep winning the ball out of centre. Here we are, 2-3. Yeah, not a bad decision by the umpire on that occasion. Here we see Solomon, good spin, kicks the ball forward here to Shannon Watt, who's got the job on Steve Alessio, who's gone forward, but great play by young Corey McGrath to snap that over his shoulder. Brilliant goal.
Since quarter time, the Bombers have kicked 16 and the Kangaroos have kicked just 7. But somehow the Kangaroos still lead, and they'll lead at every stanza against the reigning champions. Grant bangs it inside 50. They love just to buy a goal here. Lucas is having an impact. McKernan can have a bigger one, and he kicks it! He's kicked it!
They're standing up, aren't they? Under pressure, the players are just incredible, Dougie.
Just unbelievable. You know, Corey McKernan now, he's kicked his 3rd goal. He's had 13 hit-outs, but won the ball out of centre. That's the man, Shannon Grant. He's been absolutely sensational. Got poleaxed there late in the second quarter. To his credit, he's come back onto the ground now. Shannon Grant, 23 touches. He's been brilliant.
Well, a match like this deserves a grandstand finish. Still more than a quarter to go. It deserves a great finish. I wonder whether we'll get one or not. 20 goals, 3 to 18-8. Corey McKernan standing up, kicking 3 goals so far. He needs to keep on going, though. They all do. Carousella darting out of the middle. Pretty good stuff. They've got an extra man back in defence now, the Kangaroos. That's David King. He's trying to make it difficult. Lloyd dived to ground, left the ball behind. It's not out. They're pushing and shoving. The ball keeps going. Motlop handballed to a contest, which is unusual. Carousella has had an excellent quarter. Went backwards even further. Barnard conceding ground all the time. He takes it away though, Moorcock. Quick kick, and now they can go. McGrath, release Mark Johnson. He's got it in there quick. Alessio's tall. Hurd's great, but Alessio. Free kick? No free kick. It's a mark. I just saw it for a moment. He'd blown the
Free kick
whistle.
to Hurd. You're right, Hutto, you're right. You're dead right. The free kick was against Blake. He pushed Hurd into the contest. No, you're right here, Hutto.
Yep, that was it there.
There it is.
All he ended up doing was making it easier for Alessio to mark it.
Yep.
So Hurd to have a shot for goal. And again, the margin is back to 1 point at the MCG. It is not even three-quarter time, and we have seen 39 goals kicked.
I've been critical a little bit of Shannon Motlop. I think in the call there, the handball was from him. The handball was a turnover. I mean, he handballed to no one on that occasion. And a bit earlier, a couple of his kicks had no penetration. But there's the man on the screen, James Hurd, been picked up now by Johnny Blakey. Hurd now's had 19 touches for 2 goals. He's been brilliant.
Kevin Sheedy staying cool in the crisis. Not really a crisis at the moment for the Bombers because the odds are probably stacked in their favour now. They can get over the Kangaroos. But the Kangaroos have got a rare type of intensity and spirit that can't be crushed. Harris, so cool, the youngster there. Found some space and put it down the throat of Shannon Watt, who's gone forward. What can he do?
That was bad. And that was a really good mark, though.
That was a great mark.
Much better than the pun.
Good work there. I think it was young Harris that came out of the centre square.
Good effort to get rid of Johnson. Not easy to do.
No, very good. Pushed him away. Got to kick this one.
We'll find out what he's made of here. Shannon Watt from 48 metres. Deliberate kick. He's kicked it. The Kangaroos answer again.
40 goals in the day.
This is where it's going to be very important here. Got Judd Lellich, it's in the ruck here against Spider Burton, giving away a fair bit of height. No doubt Lellich has got a good leap from him, but here we are, we see Watt going back. Here we are, Essendon now has had 27 scoring shots, the Kangaroos 24.
They've played some great matches over the years. We saw Lloyd and Carey in a big shootout here about 3 years ago. It was terrific stuff. Today, Lloyd's kicked 8. Kangaroos aren't finished with yet. That's one thing that's for sure. And the Bombers will certainly keep on coming. Paul Spargo looking like David Teague. Got the ball forward.
Whoa.
Byron Pickett, well tackled. Free kick's been paid here. It's going in. No, it's going Kangaroos' way. It's going to Byron. I tell you what, he can kick the ball. It's probably just out of his range. 50. It's a 50-metre penalty.
The music language probably there. Joseph Johnson having a crack again now as well as Mark.
How costly is that going to be? Was this initial high tackle? Or what high tackle?
It was after the ball was
After
gone,
that.
I think. Yeah, Hutto. He got dragged to the ground.
Gee.
He's been the benefactor of 2 dodgy ones today, Byron. 2 free kicks, and he'll make them pay here.
Well, gives them, I wouldn't say breathing space, but it makes the lead out to 13 points. Very handy indeed as we close in on three-quarter time. Points is the margin. So for all their efforts and in some ways their domination in this quarter, the Bombers, they've only managed to reduce it from 21 down to 13.
Well, he's been okay, Byron Pickett. Haven't had a lot of the football. He's had he's kicked 3 goals now. There we are. You see Heflin losing the footy. The tackle from Byron Pickett.
Well, it was a mark in the first place. That's where the Essendon supporters are rightfully dirty.
Yeah, I think you're right, Hutchie, no doubt about that, but he was dragged after that.
6-goal quarter to the Roos, 7 to the Bombers. The margin 13 points. It's a classic arm wrestle at the MCG. A game they will talk about for years to come. Burton and Lellich, who's now in the ruck. Important play this with 56 seconds left. Simpson almost reached Makepeace. He does well. Handballs to the advantage of his own player in Sinclair, who sits and waits. Harassed off the football. Kick inside. Rocker's got to go. Cochrane almost pulled something out of the clouds. Couldn't take it. Lellich, cool-handed, gets it across to Johnson, who bangs it on the left, and maybe they'll reach three-quarter time. But Simpson, who's just come back into the side, keeps going. And a chance because Rocker's within his zone. 55 out, loads it up, heads for home, and kicks. 8 points. Went too early with the call.
There's Kevin Sheedy down there with Matthew Drain.
It's had everything, hasn't it, this game? Fletcher gets it moving. Barnard, they haven't got long though. They've got 10 seconds. They could make it in 10. Jason Johnson needs to be quick. Doesn't know the clock is counting down. Johnson goes long. The kick was meant for Lloyd. Solomon juggled it. No mark. Siren sounds. Few deep press for the Kangaroos. 22 goals for to 19-8 at three-quarter time. Dougie, what do you reckon? Who's going to win?
Oh, gee whiz, you just think the Bombers have the momentum, but every time the Kangaroos get challenged, they answer back, don't they? Solomon a bit stiff there not to get the mark, but you're right before Hutch. The mark was definitely there to Heflin on that occasion. The ball was turned over to Pickett. Now he's kicked 3 goals. Mate, we're in for a great last quarter. Don't you worry about that. It's been great football.
Let's hope we are. The game needs a great last quarter. It's been sensational all day. 22 goals for, 136 to 19-8, 122. We can hardly wait at the MCG. A sensational atmosphere here today. All brought about because of the history between those two teams, but also because of the match we've seen. It's been absolutely one out of the box, and it deserves a great last quarter. Barnes against the big man Burton. The Johnsons have been pretty good, particularly Jason. That time it was Mark. McGrath released the handball. Thump went Barnes. As good as a kick. Young Teague working overtime. Solomon has been excellent as well. Off the left, Lloyd. He's got 8, and now he's going for number 9.
Third opponent, Archer.
Archer's gone back to him now. Jason McCartney had to go across there with Steve Alessio starting in the forward pocket. And of course now it's John Barnes on the ball in the ruck. Young fella Teague's been pretty good. Good handwork there from Dean Solomon. A great kick back over the shoulder to Matty Lloyd.
So Matthew Lloyd in the opening minute of this last quarter. What a player he is. If it's possible, somewhat underestimated. He's just an absolute champion. And champions kick goals in big matches. And he's kicked 9 of the best.
Spot on, Hutto. It's been fantastic, Lloyd.
Well, he's just an absolute sensation. And the good thing about Matthew Lloyd, good player from Barnes to just knock that ball forward. Thing about Lloyd, he always plays in front. He's prepared to get his body in front. And there was Archer caught behind. Now Lloyd's kicked 9 goals straight. He's been brilliant.
So the Bombers strike the first blow at the beginning of the 4th round. They are within 8. They got within 1 point at the 28-minute mark of the 3rd. And of course trailed by 69 at the 8-minute mark of the 2nd. Still they come. Grant, ball up.
The players would have to be exhausted.
They've got to be very tired, no doubt about that. The tempo's just been unbelievable.
The most goals ever in an AFL match as Harris comes off.
Rawlings on.
Is 51 goals, and that's happened twice. We'll mention those in just a moment.
Clumsy ball up there from the Kangaroos' point of view. Simpson and Burton spoiled each other. The Bombers could have made them pay. Terrific smother from Teague. Forces a turnover. Cochrane kicked the half forward to McKernan, who looks angry. Fired up and committed to the cause. Takes a mark, goes inside it. What? Great smother.
Just great play from Corey McKernan once again. I talk about Matthew Lloyd are prepared to play in front. When this big fella, Corey McKernan gets in front, he's very hard to beat. Great smother there in the midfield there for the Kangaroos. Anyway, Corcoran's kick was very good. David Teague, good smother there on that occasion.
Watt kicked 1 in the 3rd term. He started on Lloyd. And he's starting to have an impact at the other end. On that occasion, minus score.
Well, just getting back, there's been 42 goals in this game. There was 51 in the round 6 match of 93 between North Melbourne and Sydney, and likewise 51 when Geelong beat St Kilda in round 7, 1989. On both those occasions, 51
They've coughed
goals.
it up, Hutto, sorry. Harvey to Pickett. The kick-in wasn't good. A chance for the Kangas. Handball at the back. McKernan tries to hit Simpson with a handball. Could have gone inside and didn't. Was dispossessed, and the Bombers are away.
It was like he was dazed there. On the rebound, Barnes floating the hand pass. Mark Johnson, he loves this. He could have gone himself. Instead, he gives it to Ramanauskas. And they had a lot of momentum, but he must have just summed it up and thought, well, I'm within range, and the instructions are to have a shot when you're in range.
Just what about that pressure and the tackling there from the Essendon defence on that occasion? 3 tackles, had the ball turned over from the Kangaroos. They were going forward. Pickett was one, McKernan was another, and Adam Simpson was just the third one. Brilliant play by the Bombers.
He hasn't missed this year, Adam Ramanauskas. He slips over, but he still kicks the goal. That is an incredible shot. Three points the difference at the MCG. The Bombers come out with the first 2 of the last quarter.
Just great play here from Johnny Barnes too. I thought he was going to play on. David King came out to meet him, but the quick hands from Barnes defying Mark Johnson, who set that one up for Adam Ramanauskas. As you called there, Hutto, he slipped over. Did it beautifully.
Trouble in downtown Kangaroo land. The Bombers have kicked the first 2. They trail by 3. Burton to Simpson. They need to regroup and come again at the champions, because you know the champions are going to keep coming. Hardwick, left foot kick. Johnson with 2 to beat. Sinclair did well to force it free. Now Brent Harvey.
Great kick.
Kick was good, and Sam Rocker has come out to centre half forward to allow McKernan to isolate Lucas. He's taken the mark, and here's Corey.
Brilliant.
He's risen today in the second half, Doug.
He has. He's been terrific. And the thing about Corey McKernan, he can get the distance from there. And when he gets in front and he just takes those one grab, it's just great to see Corey McKernan back in that great touch. Bit of Johnson, a bit of a punch up behind the play, boys, with Brent Harvey.
3 big marks in the last half for Corey McKernan. 6 for the game. His kicking is very long, so he'll make the distance, but the accuracy can let him down. He kicks from 55, and it just has enough on a touch, said the umpire. What a crucial touch from John Barnes it would seem to be. Let's have a look at it again here, Hawk.
Here we go. Here we go.
Gee.
Umpire's in a good spot anyway. He was in the right spot to be in that occasion. He was side on.
Fletcher goes straight for Barnes. The 2.22s. Good hands. Good work from Sinclair. They're under pressure. The turnover's on. Here they go. Carosella dragged down. Immense pressure on all players with the footy. McCurry learned about it. His kick was ordinary. Sav from one step. Thumps it down long. Shannon Watt, he's been strong. Couldn't take the mark. Shannon Grant, he was a star in the first half. He slips over, and the kick was not where he wanted it to go.
He had 2 on the other side.
He did. He had 2 over there. McKernan was one of them.
Lucas goes out wide and finds Hardwick.
And the Bombers go again to Johnson. That's Mark Johnson. As Hutto said, he has been a key contributor in the second half. Rawlings invented something then, was clever. Sinclair went again to Rawlings, who banged it onto the boot to centre half forward, and Harvey will take it. 55 out. He's got to go quick, Hawk.
Got to move it quickly. They'll flood back now, the Essendon defence. Too far out, obviously, for Brent Harvey, surely. He likes his chances.
So looks for something to give here.
Be too far out.
No movement, is there?
Nah, no movement at all.
He's going to go to the square with a torp.
Oh,
and go to the square with a torp. He does. Makes the distance.
It's
gets
through.
the accuracy. Brent Harvey has kicked a big goal. Three goals to Harvey. The Kangaroos answer again in an epic.
Well, what I was going to say was he's too far out for a drop punt. I didn't expect him to go back and kick a big torpedo like he did. That was just sensational, Brent Harvey. He's kicked 3 goals now. He's been brilliant.
Well, I don't know if this game can get any better. What is in store for us? 23-6 to 21-8. The Roos have been magnificent every time they've been challenged. And here they go again. Teague off the left boot. Shannon Watts in the middle of it all. McKernan stayed down, so did this man. Harvey tries to wheel clear. He gets clear. He has a crack at them. He has a crack and misses. 11 points the margin. 21-8 to 23-7. 9 minutes gone in the last quarter.
Just on his talk before, Hawk.
Yeah.
They practice those after training every week at
The Kangaroos today?
Kangaroos.
Down Arden Street? Okay.
Practice the talks far more than any other side. Mostly for fun, I suspect.
Comes handy, doesn't it, sometimes?
Came in very handy there. Barnes has led his opposite, number 22, to the ball in Burton. Takes the mark, hurries the kick. That was poor, but it bounces well for Johnson, who takes off, says, get out of my way again. He's so determined and so cool, this bloke, and he could answer and kick a goal. He has! 4 goals to Jason Johnson, JJ Johnson.
JJ.
And they've all been on the run.
Oh, this bloke is a superstar. Good work from Barnes again. Spider Burton's having some problems keeping up with Johnny Barnes. The kick wasn't that flash. It went over the top there of Brady Rawlins on that occasion. As we say now, Johnson's had 26 touches for 4 goals too. He's been absolutely brilliant.
And you just wonder what further contribution the superstars are going to have in this match. 5 points the difference again. Out of the middle, Jason Johnson, who has been a star today, no doubt about that.
I'll tell you what.
The Kangaroos have led since the 7.5-minute mark of the first quarter. And a goal to Essendon would put them in front for the first time since that moment.
It's Joe Mercedes now having a bit of a spell on the bench there, Hutto. We're talking about Jason Johnson. His opponent's been good too, Adam Simpson. He's had 20 touches as well. He's been pretty good in their midfield for the Kangaroos.
Solomon can't get it clear. Every possession so important. He was Byron high then. Carosella thought so. Let the umpire know about it. 11 minutes gone in the quarter. We're getting towards the halfway stage. Not quite yet. Lots of time left for more drama at the MCG. 23-7 against 22-8. Spider and Barnes. Solomon from the side. Every clearance so vital. Barnard, Carosella, Mercury, been pretty quiet today.
Oh,
that was excellent work. Kept a cool head. And Gary Moorcroft, the man who took the mark a few weeks ago, now has the chance to put Essendon in front.
I just reckon Spider Burton's having some problems keeping up with Johnny Barnes. I know Lee Colbert's only had the 3 touches and had a shocker, but I reckon a move's got to be made. Okay, maybe have Spider start in the centre bounce to make the ruck contest, but after that, get someone else on the Johnny Barnes at this stage.
So Gary Moorcroft, what a year he's had, and what a kick that is under pressure. Essendon are in front. 69 points down they were. 9 minutes into the second quarter. 69 points down.
This is just unbelievable football. This sort of game today, you just love to see a draw at the end of the game and no one sort of wins. I mean, it's just been champagne football from both sides. Classic game.
For the first time since the 7-minute mark of the first quarter.
Sav's in the ruck.
The Bombers lead. Sav's gone into the ruck. And the momentum with the Bombers. This could be a historic victory. The biggest comeback in history if they win. Mercury, perhaps he let it go. Yep, holding the ball, said the umpire.
Is Spider off you down there, Aussie? Is Spider Burton off?
Yes, he did come off, and Sav Rocker went into the ruck.
Had to make a move.
51,878 fans have been on their feet since the start, and Rocker wasn't paid the mark when he perhaps should have been. Blakey to Watt, who's got to go. He's pushed off and hustled under by Lucas.
Good tackle.
And wrapped him up. Hardwick win again. The Bombers are answering every challenge. Solomon to half forward. Mercury, too much pace. Takes the mark. He's a beautiful user of the football. Goes to the pocket. And Moorcroft has got one laced up from Mercury for the second time in a minute. Goes inside for Lloyd. Takes it on the run. Beats 2. Handball didn't hit his target. Simpson just threw it out in the end. Didn't have any real plans for the handball. Hurd may have thrown it. Moorcroft to McGrath. A mark here to the Bombers have really put a nail in this game. chance for Barnard, who thought he got one high, didn't realise it was his own teammate. Ramanasca's in there, and Archer puts a small package on him. Will have a bounce.
He was going in so hard then, Barnard, that he spoiled his own teammate.
Yep.
In Alessio.
Here it is. Yeah, King did a good job too to wrap that ball up.
It's bone-crunching stuff now. 10 minutes of actual football remaining in this magnificent match. The Bombers leading by a point and really bearing down. Enter James Hird! And he misses. Might still be another appearance from Sir James in this last quarter.
He looked so determined then, didn't he, to kick the goal?
Yeah, he did, didn't he, Rod? Looks like now Lucas has been moved away from McKernan. McKernan's been on fire. Dustin Fletcher's got McKernan with Rocket going into the ruck.
You think the Kangaroos can still win, Hawk?
Well, I think they can. I think they've answered every challenge so far. There's no reason why actually they can't keep going with 10 minutes. Good crowd too, boys. 51,000, I think it was.
Harvey kicks in. It was a short one. Makepeace takes it and darts. Tries to get some run back into this Kangaroos game. It's a wobbly kick, but it finds its mark. Adam Simpson takes it nice. He's got some players through the midfield. He goes wider instead. Watts led a long way up the ground. A long way close to the boundary line, and it's over and out. So the Bombers leading here 23-9 to 23-7. 9 goals to Matthew Lloyd, 4 to Jason Johnson, 2 to James Hird. 4 goals to Sav Rocker, 3 each to Pickett, Harvey, McKernan and Sinclair.
Barnes may have been in Rocker's back. Solomon, who's been out of form the last few weeks and has lifted in a big way today. Motlop goes to a contest. A chance for the Kangas at the back, doesn't sit. 3 to
well
beat.
done.
Cochrane went alone. Can he kick a miraculous goal? No, he can't. It was McCartney. My apologies. Had 3 to beat. The margin again, 1 point.
They just keep coming, don't they, Hutch, the Kangaroos? You asked the question before, they're just going to keep coming. Been a great game of footy, this one.
Fletcher's kick-ins haven't really hit the mark today. Goes to a contest this time. Watt was in front. The umpire says play on. Rawlings has kicked to a 2-on-1 if it sits for the Kangas. Grant. Now Jones to Grant. Try to invent something.
He was already out.
Throw in. Lucky break that for the Kangas, I reckon.
The kick from Watt was pretty high, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was. I thought the handball may have been over the top there. At least Dustin Fletcher just trying to get a bit of air back here. Look like he's hurt his ankle on that occasion then.
So the ball to be thrown in. It was a real close line ball on that one, whether he was over or not. 1 point the difference. We've gone 16.5 minutes in this last quarter. McKernan thumped it back. It's in the danger area. Jacobs clears it. Here's the young kid. Teague! No free kick. Harvey takes it back. King crunched as he kicked it. Again, he gets Sinclair this time. Oh, he's fell over. He gets up. He gets down. He gets up again. He gets knocked down and kicks it long to the square. They need a mark. Sav couldn't get it. Quick kick went nowhere. Shannon Motlop just couldn't get the ball to boot in any sizable fashion. And now Barnard on the rebound. Gives it to Hird, who gives it into the middle of the ground, looking for the man who's kicked 9. Matty Lloyd, keep it moving. Caracella, dribbling kick. Mercury, brilliant stuff. Corey McGrath passes it for Alessio. It doesn't matter. He didn't touch it. It went through for a goal.
Oh, that's a massive body blow, that, for the Kangaroos, Hawk.
Well, they did all the hard work, the Kangaroos. They've attacked over the last 2 or 3 minutes. There we are, Lloyd, just a bit too big and too strong for Glenn Archer. Quick hands there for Mark Mercury to find Corey McGrath now, who's kicked 2 goals. What a game. What a game.
Not sure what Alessio was thinking there. I think he tried to mark that, but
McKernan back in the rack.
It's a 7-point game. Sav Rocker kicked 4 in the first term. They need him to kick a goal or 2 now. They can pinch this game back again, because they had a real chance here today, the Kangaroos, and it hasn't eventuated for them. They trail by 7. He dropped the football there for mine. Play on, said the umpire. Hardwick tough and hard, bottles it up.
You reckon he got one high, I think, Hardwick.
Still 8 minutes left in the game. 7-point margin, not big boy. any stretch given the...
You just reckon, Hutch, the Kangaroos have to kick the next goal. The Essendon side get the next one. It could be all over.
McKernan wins it. Johnson been superb today. Close enough to be on G. Ramanauskas takes the mark at half forward. 55 out.
He's a good kick, this fella.
Since quarter time, they've kicked 22 goals, the Bombers. Blakey was in front. Pickett was harassed out of it. Blakey heads for the boundary and just gets it over. Mercury gives a wink to Hurd and says, good job, pal. Concerned Dennis Pagan.
Sav Rocker playing up in the middle of the ground. He's still playing as a forward. They've all pushed up. It's on 50. Alessio tried to knock it centrally. Caracella got himself clear, got himself steady. The post is wobbling. The ball's gone on the inside. The Bombers are flying again. Blake Caracella kicks the goal. And it looks like the avalanche is coming.
Well, he's kicked 2 now, Hutto. Blake Caracella. He's had 25 touches as well, 3 marks. He's just been a brilliant player in the midfield, has Blake Caracella. You might be right, this could be all over now for the Kangaroos.
For the first real time in the game, the winner looks Essendon. And the Kangaroos have got to try and invent something to get back in a contest that they led by 69 points, but still they come the Dons. Caracella, Moorcroft, been so important. He's kicked another one. Can you believe that?
They are an irresistible force, aren't they, the Bombers?
They are the complete deal. They are the real deal. Look at McKernan in the ruck. He grabs the ball. Barnes just keeps the ball alive here for the Essendon side, pushes the ball out. That man again, Blake Caracella's had a terrific game. Moorcroft now, he's kicked 2 goals, started on the bench. He's been fairly lively.
Suddenly Essendon are in front by 3 goals. They are amazing. This match has been amazing. 49 goals in the match, 2 short of the all-time record. Hardwick, Johnson, out of the middle. They're moving into overdrive now. Lloyd, handball to himself and then kicked it off the ground. Harvey, Johnson scrapping all over, had to be desperate. Free kick to the Kangaroos. Archer takes the advantage and the Roos are away. They have to move it and move it quickly. Sinclair, or someone's down behind play.
Ooh.
Quick kick, it's a Kangaroo player, we'll get back to it in a minute. Oh, good mark, gutsy mark, taken by David King. To Corey Jones.
Motlop's on.
Corey Jones looked like, you're right, Hutto.
He's still on.
Yep.
No, he doesn't go to him. David King is a big kick of the footy.
Ooh, bit far.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have a shot. Good kick, good kick.
Great kick.
And they're certainly not out of it if they can kick this goal. Big pressure on Corey McKernan here. Perhaps, just perhaps, the Bombers thought they might be close to being home. But if McKernan kicks this goal, then it gives them hope.
Plenty of time, 2 Hutto to go. He's kicked 3 goals, Corey. He's been pretty good. 7 marks.
It's away to the right, but he likes it. He's up, he's bounding. He's kicked the goal. And that's 4. 4 for Corey McKernan.
Well, we've said it a few times, this game's got everything, and it's just, it'd be tragic to have a loser. We're going to have one, but I'll tell you what, both sides, take your hats off, you've been outstanding. You give everything, it's just been terrific, it has. Unbelievable football.
That's 50 goals for the match.
50 goals. Gee whiz.
Kevin Sheedy doing some fine-tuning. The Bombers have got the ascendancy. They lead by 13 points. They did trail, we must repeat, by 69, but the Kangaroos work it forward. If it sits for them here, Rocker squeezed a handball out. King wants to take this game by the scruff of the neck, gets it to Sinclair, dances inside out, bangs it on the boot if it sits. Well done, Pickett, handball over the goal square, McKernan with number 5. They're coming again. do you say?
Oh, I've lost my voice. Masudi coming back on. Alessio having a spell, but Sinclair's been brilliant. His attack on the foot, he's been outstanding, the young fella. Over the top there, great teamwork here from Byron Pickett to set up Corey McKernan. And he's now kicked 5 goals.
So it's back to 7 again, and Corey McKernan with 2 goals may just be about to turn this game on its end yet again. The umpire's ready to bounce it. Matthew Spider Burton. Johnny Barnes. Beaten for it by Burton. Caracella, who's going to get it out of the middle here. The Bombers in the best position. McGrath well trapped up. Well trapped up by Cochrane. And really could have been penalised then in the end. McGrath was all over that. Would have been a brave decision, probably the correct one made in the end.
Just been unbelievable, hasn't it, really? Essendon 11 goal kickers. Lloyd's kicked 9 of the 26. The Kangaroos had 10 goal kickers. McKernan 5 and Rocker 4.
So the ball put down again. There, speaking of Rocker, got the tap down. The roving done by Burton. Kicked an amazing goal early. Oh, he just shoved off Corey McGrath. Said, get lost. Here comes Shannon Grant. Here's Sinclair now. Tackled by Hardwick and the ball out of bounds. 26-9 to 25-8. 4.5 minutes remaining. Can the Kangaroos kick the next goal? Wouldn't they love to have that man out there at this stage? Burton in front. From behind. It was Watt that took it towards the line.
Oh,
Kept
well
in.
done.
Oh, David King stole it. Doesn't get the goal. Rocker or Jacobs, a bit of a fumble. Was it out of bounds? It was. So we'll see a throw in. And they're deep in attack.
Yeah, great play by King, but I think Shannon Grant just kept that one alive. He just gave a slight little tap back to David King. Shannon Grant, you've been brilliant. 25 touches and 2 goals.
Important play this for the Roos if they're to have any hope. Burton did well. Cochrane almost farmed it. Fletcher took a punt to go across goal. A foot race, a classic old-fashioned foot race. And Watt gets there first, palms it back towards Grant, who looks tired. He's been in a couple of heavy clashes. Lucas heads for the boundary line, and Rawlings has just gone out.
Oh, be careful. Be careful. You get a free kick against
He has a free kick, Rawlings. Such an important stage of the game. Doug Hawkins belts the desk, not because he's barracking, but because he's barracking for the game.
It's been a terrific game.
Hardwick, the target will be heard. He's got 2 to beat. Blakey at the back. McGrath's played such an important role in this resurgence in the second half. Barnes to McGrath again, wrapped up magnificently. The umpire, quite rightly, decides to bounce. And time just continues on to the advantage of the Bombers. 26 minutes and 50 seconds played in the final term. As you can see, 3.5 left. So the Kangaroos have got one last roll of the dice here. They need to break and score a goal, or at least a point from this stoppage. Throw in. Burton and Lalich. Won by Burton. It comes to King, who's got himself back into the game. Kicks to a contest. You're going to have to go. Corey does! He takes a big mark!
Yes!
Corey McKernan has been dragged through the mill in season 2001. He had a game where he didn't get a possession against Richmond. Today, he has answered the critics in the best possible fashion. He's taken 8 marks,
11
kicked 5 goals, and had 13 hit-outs, and had the chance to put the Kangas within 1. This could be a landmark moment in Corey's career. Minor score. Puts them within 6, though. 2:45 left on the clock. They so needed a goal.
Great mark, wasn't it, in the pack? Corey McKernan
Screaming at himself.
Gee whiz.
There's plenty of time. There is plenty of time. 1 goal the difference. It's been a magnificent match. We've said that time and time again. And what a finish. Fletcher goes long, looking for Mark Johnson. Good work, though, from Rocker. He hasn't played 4 great quarters, but he has worked hard for 4 quarters, and that would be the most pleasing thing. 16 possessions, 8 marks. He's kicked 4 goals, 1. He was dynamic in the first quarter. Essendon led by 6 points. They trailed by 69 at one stage, but the Roos aren't dead yet. And here's McKernan again. This time he couldn't pull it down. Watch out, Byron was coming. Downfield, it's a free kick. It's a free kick. Advantage was paid. Now it's going to come back. It's going to come back and be a free kick to Essendon in the middle. It's going back.
Who was that against, Hutto?
It was against Byron Pickett. Late contact after the ball was kicked down the field.
Sure.
And now the umpire's going to make them take it all the way back. Oh, no, that's where he's...
Such confusion here, though. That's all we need.
Blake Carosella with the ball now. Essendon are going to start doing the short, chipping, holding on to the play. They can see their time clock shows 29.5 minutes. So the Kangaroos have to man up. They have to man up. There's still a lot of time.
He's taking his time.
Now the umpire's got to be smart here and tell him to kick, and he does. So Johnson will kick it to the boundary line, or close to it. Lloyd the target. Hurd. Around the line it goes. Moorcroft, let it go. Blake Carosella. It's all over now. The Bombers might just about be home. You wouldn't think they could lose from here. Perhaps 2 goals could give the Kangas a draw. When we thought they were defending, they still got a goal, and it was James Hurd's kick that broke it open.
It was an unbelievable kick.
It was a great kick by Hurd to just keep the ball alive. Carosella 7 possessions this quarter.
Such confidence from James Hurd to keep the kick alive rather than head for the boundary. That is a true test of a champion side. Self-belief. And they're going to pinch this game after trailing by 69, the greatest margin reversal in AFL VFL history. Archer, McGrath, who's been so impressive, and Johnson, who's kicked 4, bangs it inside towards Lloyd, over his head, and 3 against 1. The Kangaroos can clear through. Blakey goes for the pocket, and Archer marks. No time left at all for the Roos. Gets it to Harvey. The clock ticks towards a minute. Simpson takes the mark. Got to move it quick. He's got Rocker, should take a drop to what he should have taken, and then spoiled the second effort of his teammate. A chance for Lucas to get the ball clear. Heads for the boundary. Important kick if it gets there. But Sav, who was so good in the first term, needs to lift again and get the handball off. He does to Byron Pickett. Dispossessed. Handball misses Sinclair. Lelich pickpockets him for the ball. McGrath wrapped up by 3. What a game of football. And the Bombers...
Sorry, Hutchie, that's not what they needed, the Kangaroos. They needed to take it out of bounds because the clock keeps running. It's called time on now.
$51,000 fans have been emotionally involved in this game since the outset. The Kangaroos kicked 12 goals in the first quarter. They've given it their absolute best without their 2 champions, Carey and Stevens. Archer kicks it inside 50. It'll sit for Corey at the back. It doesn't sit for him. Just about went out of bounds. And does. And Corey, wearing his heart on his sleeve today. His emotions have been so prevalent since that first quarter mark in the goal square when he yelled at himself. Goes again. Lucas, who's probably had a bit of an impact as well down back, in fairness. Finds touch over the boundary for a throw-in. 32.5 minutes gone in the final term, and gets set for an amazing roar from the Bomber faithful. And the siren sounds.
Yes, emotion, I think, will be the word from everyone involved. It's been an amazing day. They started off absolutely brilliantly, the Kangaroos, but the Bombers are such a champion team. They're trying hard. The clock is counting, and the game is over. One of the best ever. One of the very best ever matches played on this magnificent ground over more than 100 years of football. And Kevin Sheedy has brought his team back from where no team has come back before. 69 points they were behind in the second quarter. And the gallant Kangaroos, without their captain in Wayne Carey, without their premiership stars in Mickey Martin and Anthony Stevens, They got out to a huge lead, 69 points, but somehow the Bombers came back. And how would that man feel, Dennis Pagan? He'd have to be proud, but sad and disappointed. I think Aussie's in the middle of it all with Matty Lloyd.
Yeah, thanks, Hutto. What an amazing game of football, Matty.
Yeah, I think just looked up then, there's 52 goals there, so that's just an amazing game, and one that we're happy to have won.
You're probably not sure, wouldn't realise this, but 69 points you came back from. It's the biggest comeback in the history of the game.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I don't think we've been in that position for nearly 2 or 3 years, and that just shows great character. We had a few easy games in the last month, so it's just great to win one like that.
And your own form, a bag of goals, but it does help with guys like Jason Johnson just steaming through the middle time and time again, putting it down your throat.
Oh yeah, no, I love playing in this side, and you know, we all probably play on a bit less than you could in another club, but it's great when you win games like this.
As I said, an amazing game. I'm sure you guys will be pretty buggered. Enjoy the rest and well done.
Thanks a lot, Oz.
Well said, Aussie. I think we all are.
Spot on.
52 goals kicked in this match, the most ever in AFL VFL history. Who said footy was boring, Parko?
Good afternoon, Hutto and Hutch. We're going home.
What a game.
27-9, 171 Essendon have defeated the Kangaroos 25-9, 159.